hard place. Do I work hard or live at my pace? You're only young once, yeah, that's all great, but I also want a future where I'm okay. Living life is doing lots of cocaine. Wait, no, it's living with no shame. Wait, no, it's sleeping in on Sundays. I guess it's different for each of us and that's okay. Well, I just wanna be happy. How to get there? Glad that you asked me. I think it's different for everyone. Some of us need work, others need fun. Some of us need purpose to overcome. But try to do what you love when it's said and done, cause there's so many differences in each of us. Trust your gut, it can show you what you want. Living life, everyday, late at night, not okay. All I want, and I pray, all I need are some better days. Yeah, all I need are some better days. Cause all I want, and I pray, I believe in the better days. Living life, everyday, late at night, not okay. All I want, and I pray, all I need are some better days. Yeah, all I need are some better days. Cause all I want, and I pray, I believe in the better days. Living life, everyday, late at night, not okay. All I want, and I pray, all I need are some better days. Fuck me, I'm looking in the mirror, so foggy, but I've never seen clearer. I don't really think anyone can save me, and honestly I'm not really sure I want saving. I like to be my own worst enemy. There's no risk if you don't try at anything, so I'ma just keep buying everything. See you in the next life, have to be a better me. I don't think that my head's on straight, gotta flip it and grip it and go and get an x-ray. What's wrong with me? I just feel weight pushing on my chest and it squeezes till I suffocate. Better change my mindset, meditate. It's pretty cool that I'm alive and have better days. I could walk, see, hear, I should celebrate. Think I could change my mind, maybe elevate. Living life, everyday, late at night, not okay. All I want, and I pray, all I need are some better days. Yeah, all I need.
Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yo. Set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 So life ain't easy, yo, I think there's a reason though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. I always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they rot. Head full of flaws, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken, I got patience. One day at a time is how you operate a cadence. A flow, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause it's sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Wake up, really gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing. Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you want to be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yo. Set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 So life ain't easy, yo, I think there's a reason though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. You always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they rot. Head full of flies, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken, I got patience. One day at a time is how you operate a cadence. A flow, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause it's sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Wake up, really gon' rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing. Step 1, wake up, really gon' rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up.
I love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up! It's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me. Better believe in your mind, cause it's everything. You can mold, shape, find almost anything. All it takes is some time and some clarity to find your identity. It's mind over everything. And when I feel like this, I'm immortal. 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 Don't stop, just give it up, don't stop. crack. And if you get in my way, you gonna feel the wrath. Gotta say it to my face while he's looking back. Mirror breaks after math. When I hate, I attack. And when I feel like this, I'm immortal. 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 Don't stare, just look me up, don't stare. Love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up! It's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me. Better believe in your mind, cause it's everything. You can mold, shape, find almost anything. All it takes is some time and some clarity to find your identity. It's mind over everything. And when I feel like this, I'm immortal. 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 Don't stare, just look me up, don't stare. And if you get in my way, you gonna feel the wrath. Gotta say it to my face while he's looking back. Mirror breaks after math. When I hate, I attack. And when I feel like this, I'm immortal. 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 Don't stare, just look me up, don't stare. Love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up! It's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better. Welcome to my party, we're just getting started. A life is a dream or a nightmare. my car, wake up in a bar, I'll be a superstar, just on my avatar. This world is so bizarre, empty out the reservoir. Yeah,
I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way. So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think I'm going crazy, don't think I'll get home safe. So I'm taking 6 shots, all straight to the face. I'm taking 6 shots, are you coming with me?
I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way. So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think I'm going crazy, don't think I'll get home safe. So I'm taking 6 shots, all straight to the face. I'm taking 6 shots, are you coming with me? Sometimes you need to let loose, grab juice, get goose, tattoos, taboos, get screwed. Loosen up, buttercup, all those hate comments will never make you feel enough. We're all adequate graduates, heart full of calluses, but we know calculus. Damn, ain't that fabulous? Can't wait to apply all those mathematicus. But we can't get a job that pays us enough. I'm about to pop up. Fuck you, you're lost. We all know that we never really want a boss. So I'ma do what I want to, something I can't undo. Yeah, I'ma do what I want to, something I can't undo.
I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way. So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think I'm going crazy, don't think I'll get home safe. So I'm taking 6 shots, all straight to the face. I'm taking 6 shots, are you coming with me?
I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way. So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think I'm going crazy, don't think I'll get home safe. So I'm taking 6 shots, all straight to the face. I'm taking 6 shots, are you coming with me? Welcome to my party, we're just getting started. A life is a dream or a nightmare scarring. Hand me a drink cause I think I'm going all in. Get me a shrink who can catch me when I'm falling. Cover up my scars, flip the handlebars, crashing in my car, wake up in a bar. I'll be a superstar, just on my avatar. This world is so bizarre, empty out the reservoir. Yeah,
I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way. So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think I'm going crazy, don't think I'll get home safe. So I'm taking 6 shots, all straight to the face. I'm taking 6 shots, are you coming with me?
I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way. So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think I'm going crazy, don't think I'll get home safe. So I'm taking 6 shots, all straight to the face. I'm taking 6 shots, are you coming with me? Sometimes you need to let loose, grab juice, get goose, tattoos, taboos, get screwed. Loosen up, buttercup, all those hate comments will never make you feel enough. We're all adequate graduates, heart full of calluses, but we know calculus. Damn, ain't that fabulous? Can't wait to apply all those mathematicus. But we can't get a job that pays us enough. I'm about to pop up. Fuck you, you're lost. We all know that we never really want a boss. So I'ma do what I want to, something I can't undo. Yeah, I'ma do what I want to, something I can't undo.
I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way. So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think I'm going crazy, don't think I'll get home safe. So
So I'm taking 6 shots all straight to the face. I'm taking 6 shots, are you coming with me? I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way. So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think I'm going crazy, don't think I'll get home safe. So I'm taking 6 shots all straight to the face. I'm taking 6 shots, are you coming with me? Welcome to my party, we're just getting started. A life is a dream or a nightmare scarring. Hand me a drink cause I think I'm going all in. Get me a shrink who can catch me when I'm falling. Cover up my scars, flip the handlebars. Crashing in my car, wake up in a bar. I'll be a superstar, just on my avatar. This world is so bizarre, empty out the reservoir. Yeah. I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way. So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think I'm going crazy, don't think I'll get home safe. So I'm taking 6 shots all straight to the face. I'm taking 6 shots, are you coming with me? I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way. So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think I'm going crazy, don't think I'll get home safe. So I'm taking 6 shots all straight to the face. I'm taking 6 shots, are you coming with me? Sometimes you need to let loose, grab juice, get goose, tattoos,
Oh yeah. This bitch though. Finally. These things are nasty.
Whoa!
It alright?
Yeah, I can see it good. Perfect.
Those fins right there will go through your poop. He doesn't have scales. It's like armor. His mouth. Look at hey Phantom, look at his mouth.
I said, man, if you lock your door, he said, no, man, the burglar coming here. He said, man, that's free booty right there. Let him come on in.
I found me a new leather ribbon. You want to be my leather ribbon?
Negative.
No one else you like me?
No, I think me and you have a love-hate relationship. You're always messing with old King Fat Titties and my alter ego, you know, I think he's
Round the likes up for Fabulous and we'll give you each round. That is so fucking funny. I forgot to laugh. Yeehaw, get your done out there, boys. Yeah.
What did you go hunting for?
Deer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I shot an 18 point. I shot him with a 30-06.
Oh my god.
And that bear, and that damn deer went like this. He was running, and after I shot him, he just buckled to the ground. Brrr, bam! If you like the channel, hit the like button and hit the subscribe button too, guys. Thank you so much. You know what? Hey, you know what? It's showtime. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, how's everybody? Welcome tonight. I just want to say thank you for coming to my show tonight, and I'm here tonight to let you guys know we got a special treat. We got 2 people coming up right now. I'm waiting on Ty Corbin. Ty Corbin should be coming up in a minute, and we're just going to I'm going to tell you a few guidelines I need to go with my chat room. My chat room is I want everybody to get along in the chat room. Everybody is welcome over here. There is nobody better than nobody else over here. We're all the same people, and we're all getting along with everybody, and that's all I want from everybody. And I just want everybody to say hi to everybody. CDC Dogs, thank you for coming. Kings of Queen, thank you for coming. Huggy Bear is here in the house, live with Nick, Miss W, Joy Perry, and everybody else that came in here. Ron Cooley, thank you for coming in. Lola, thank you for coming in. I just want to say thank you being passed as an intro. Who made that intro? That is man's story at the beginning. That is my intro, Lola. And Sunny C. Patterson, thank you for showing up. Rochelle Bandit, thank you for showing up. And everybody else and everything. I got it. Okay, so everybody sit back, relax. I'm bringing the person the secret person that has been gone for a while. He has came back. Here he is, ladies and gentlemen. Yours truly. There he is, ladies and gentlemen.
Break yourself, fool.
Oh shit, ladies and gentlemen, that is the one and only Chief Samoan Stink Fingers. How you doing, King?
I'm good, Johnny. How about yourself, my brother?
I'm doing good, my brother. I'm glad that you came back, and I'm glad to see you. And everybody here is having a good time over here. Hotspot, thank you for coming in, Hotspot. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the one and only Ty Corbin. Hey, Ty, how you doing tonight, Ty?
Johnny, you keep yelling in my ear.
Can you guys hear me now?
I can hear you.
Okay.
I can hear you.
Okay, thank you. I just didn't want to be yelling at everybody. I just want to say glad need to harass Johnny. I'm simply told my side. Okay, cool. Everybody's cool in the chat room. Everybody's here is cool in the chat room. Everybody can just relax. If anybody's got any questions for Mr. Ty Corbin tonight, be more than welcome to ask questions, and he'll answer them to his best knowledge. And Ty Corbin, you looking good there, sir. How are you?
My mouth hurts, you guys. I had a lot of cosmetic surgery today, and I'm swollen. I don't know if you can tell, but it hurts.
And if everybody can, make Ty Corbin smile.
Don't do that.
I had cosmetic surgery done, as you can tell. No more of the bad teeth on the top anymore. I had all those removed and replaced. My mouth is numb, you guys, so I'm having trouble talking, but we're going to work through it, okay?
All right.
You want to say hi? This is my grandson, one of them. This is Carter. Say hi.
Hi.
Hey, Mr. Carter, how are you doing, bud?
What's up, buddy?
Good.
How you doing, kiddo?
Hi.
Nice to see you, buddy.
Say
And
bye.
Buster has a Ty Corbin. Buster has a question for you.
Okay.
He says, I have a question for Ty Corbin. Why are his nards so huge?
Born that way.
He was born that way.
Either that or I've been kicked in the nuts too many times. Yep.
Grateful Nomad, nice to see you here. Go ahead and Ty Corbin, the floor is yours for a little bit. Go ahead. Say anything you want to say.
You guys, I know there's been a lot of back and forth and all that. And how can I put this? I'm to the point where I'm going to start hitting back. People have seen I've been doing that in chat quite a bit on what would you call it, comments and stuff. So I'm not going to lie, I've been really rude to some people, but in all fairness, they were really rude to me all summer long, and payback is a bitch. And when people have been seeing that lately, I'm hitting back. I'm tired of it.
That's right.
Our whole family's tired of it. So some spoofs, I want people to know that they're just fun and games. They're not meant to be mean. But on some people, yeah, I'd say they're meant to be mean. All of our characters are characters. If people think that it's them, I don't know what to tell you. I would say what I knew would say, Johnny, but we're not going to cuss on your show, or try not to anyway. So
yeah.
Well, Ty, you know what they say: if the shoe fits, wear it.
Yeah, and sometimes you got to wear it whether it fits or not, right?
That's true. Absolutely.
I've had to do a lot of that this summer. So.
Mm-hmm.
You okay?
A lot of he said, she said.
A lot of that going on, you guys. A lot of that. So, court's coming up, I think, on Monday for James Brenner, the 27th. And we'll see. I believe he's going to get charged with homicide on that day. We'll see what happens.
Do you think it'll stick without a body, though?
Yes. I think personally that the Box Elder County sheriffs have a lot more evidence than what they're showing. That's what I think personally.
Well, and Ty, people don't realize, like, I've followed this case from the very first time Heavy D Sparks and those boys put out their video early on. I think they pulled it and then redid it or edited a bunch and then put it back out. But that was just a few days after. And then I know PZ there with Johnny, he followed it as well. And that's where he came from as well, is from watching Dylan Round stuff. So a lot of us have been interested in it. We just never really covered it here because Johnny didn't really know much about it. But I've been following it forever for the past 8 months or so.
Yeah, I'm glad you came on panel tonight because I can't see the chat. So the questions in there, maybe you can read them off, if that makes sense.
I can read them off.
Okay.
Hey, Ty Corbin, do you also want to tell everybody else that about that whatever donations we do get here, we're going to go ahead and give them to?
I guess to Equisearch.
If anybody wants to, instead of doing super stickers, and anybody wants to donate, they can send it to the Cash App so we can send it tomorrow. If you want to do that, Ty Corbin.
Yeah. So you guys, Johnny agreed to do his super stickers, super chats, all that, to give to Equisearch. They're a professional search outfit that has been looking for Dylan, and I think they'll be back in the springtime. So that's where we're at with that.
And that's the Midwest Equisearch, right? The ones that came and helped the family?
Yes, I believe so. Okay. So the donations will go there. The thing that's been being said about the money, you guys, we're about to prove that wrong. So here we are. Well, not about the money.
You've pretty much been honest the whole time. You said, yeah, people have sent me this money for gas and that money for gas. But other than that, it's not like you're collecting thousands of dollars every month for anything. So,
no.
You know what I mean?
I can promise. Yeah, I can promise you that I have spent way more than I've received, and that's okay. That's okay with me. So, and I'm sorry, you guys, if it sounds funny. I'm talking funny. My face is still swollen. So, and not only swollen, but numb still. So I'm having trouble pronouncing some things. So, bear with me, please.
Good.
And anything you see, anything you see, King, on the chat with questions, just repeat it and we'll go from there.
Okay, that's fine. I can do that. Absolutely. So far, it's just everybody saying hi to you.
Oh, hello back, you guys.
We have 126 in the chat room.
So with the Ty, so I've been off grid the past 5 or 6 days, but I came back in the middle of the night last night, and Johnny told me what you were going to do on the show, and I went and saw your video this afternoon before I came up here, and I didn't know that they wiped that whole pond out, huh?
They didn't wipe it out, but they cut down some of the trees. And what someone explained to me in chat was they probably cut the trees so a track hoe could reach in there and scrape.
Well, did you see any heavy equipment marks in there or tires or anything?
Yeah, there was tracks on the ground. It looked like a traco.
Right.
So not a backhoe, but a traco is what it looked like.
Right. So it was
And-
probably a bigger excavator than if it had track. Not necessarily, but I guess you could probably tell by how far apart the tracks were if it was a big one. I don't know how big the trees are there, so.
Some of them are pretty big, brother. Some of them are really big. Yes.
Yeah.
And before people ask, I have no idea what kind of evidence they found in that pond. I have not a clue. I can guess like everyone else, and my guess would be either a wallet or a murder weapon. And beyond that, you guys, I have no idea. So I think they said they found evidence, and I don't blame them if they did to keep it close to them, especially with everything that's been going on. So.
Hey, Ty, Tom Evans asked, can you tell us more about the sign at Lucen Pond?
The big one or the no trespassing sign?
I'm not sure. Is there a no trespass? I thought that was public
There is
property.
now, yeah. There's a no trespassing sign now. The railroad owns that pond, and the rail boss, I see him every morning at the crossing in front of our house. So when I go through the crossing, I stop and talk to him, and he gave me permission to go on that property and into the gravel occurrence that's northeast of there.
Oh, wow. Well, and I thought people got their water from there. Do they not get water for their animals?
I think they still do. I mean, you guys, I would imagine they still do.
Right.
I don't think you can prevent people from getting water. So.
Well, what I've always wanted to know, Ty, is where that stuff is does that salt or that salt from the Great Salt Lake, does it not leach into the soil that far out?
All the soil around there, you guys, has high alkali. That's what it's called, and it does contain salt. And the closer you get to the salt flats, the more alkali it becomes.
Right.
And that water that goes into that pond, you guys, is piped from about 10 miles away. It's piped from Bald Eagle Mountain, from the springs up there around Governor Springs.
Oh, okay. So it's actually in the mountain. It's just coming out right there.
Yeah, it pipes. It's about a 10-mile pipe, I believe.
Oh, wow.
And all gravity.
So that water would be super clean then. I would imagine it's probably really good water.
Right. The water that flows in is good. You just don't want to drink out of the pond itself, just out of the pipe.
Right.
And that pipe is located on the very west end of the pond. And you guys, the pond is about the size of a basketball court, to put it in perspective.
Okay, King. Buster says, King, you had some great words the other night and were being a man, growing up in life. Much respect.
Well, yeah, I had to grow up, man. I told you the way I was going in my younger years was going to end me in prison or dead. That's it. And I narrowly escaped both. And like I said, I'll never hurt another human being in my life, ever. That's not who I am anymore. So, but I appreciate it. Thank you.
Phone lines are open, 562-612-9302. If you guys got any questions, please call me and for Ty Corbin, and we got any questions for Ty Corbin, you guys can ask it in the chat, or you guys can ask over on the phone lines. Okay, here it goes. Would they need permits during the searching in the pond? Ty Corbin.
You guys, I couldn't answer that. I think that I would imagine that Box Elder County probably called the railroad and asked them permission to do it. And the railroad probably said, go ahead, just fix it when you're done. And in all actuality, I think the pond is better off now. It'll let more sunlight in there. It looks like a lot of the trees they cut were dead anyway, except for some of the small ones. So we'll see what it does. It certainly looked different, that's for sure.
What kind of trees are out there? Cottonwoods?
Yeah, big cottonwoods.
Yeah, I figured.
Okay, here we got another question.
You can usually tell where the water is in the desert by the cottonwood trees.
And a few Russian olives.
Yeah, those two.
Hey, and this is from Tom Evans. Ty Corbin, do you know what happened to Don Haley?
I was told he moved to Wyoming. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. I don't blame him for leaving, you guys. Look at what the people have been going through.
Rebecca Lynn wants to know if you know who bought the pole barn out there. I guess they call it the shed or whatever. It's a
Yeah,
pole
I
barn.
do not. It's a pole barn. She has it right. The grain shed is actually a pole barn.
Right.
A metal
Do you know
shop.
who bought that? Did they sell that property?
I couldn't tell you. I do not know. I don't go on that
Rounds
property.
family didn't even own it, right? Didn't somebody else own that property? It wasn't even the Rounds that owned that.
I believe a man named Joe Chichetio owned it. And I think he was leasing it at one point to Ed Harshberger. And I do believe, I was told, whether it's true or not, I don't know, but I was told that Dylan's grandfather had started making payments on that property too. So that would be a question.
We're going to buy that one out.
Yeah. Yes, from what I understand.
You know, Ty, following this whole thing, the hardest part I have about the whole James Brenner thing is this guy, he seems like he's not very intelligent and he's a hothead, but somehow he magically made this kid disappear with little to no evidence. And there's literally not, they haven't done anything for 8 months, at least not that we know of. Unless, like you said, they're hiding a bunch of stuff and they're never talking about it. The guy pulled off a damn near perfect crime, but he doesn't seem that intelligent to me. Not that I know him.
I don't think he pulled off a perfect crime.
Hey, Ty.
I think that,
go ahead. Hey, Ty, go ahead.
I think that usually the most obvious answer is it. So the most logical thing is he must be somewhere close if Brenner did this by himself, and we've just missed him. There hasn't been big search areas where people hand to hand 200 or 300 at a time walk one direction. That was probably done around the farm and around the grain shed, but I don't think it's been done like through the wash, through other places that are high probability. And you guys, to me, the highest probability to me is around Pigeon Mountain. There's a trail called Pigeon Loop Road, and it's actually a trail. And I think that whole area is a high probability. And I do believe that the Bald Eagle Mountain area is a very high probability too.
I got a question.
To my knowledge, both of those areas have never been searched with large groups of people.
I got another question for you. This is from Joseph Lloyd. I got a text message, and it says, ask if Dylan's property that was listed for sale, or is it just a pole-born Boneport property? Did you hear that?
Yeah, I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know if they're selling Dylan's property where the farm was at. I don't know.
Hello? Hello?
There has been word said that.
And here goes another question.
Okay.
Here goes another question. Is it true that Justin Rounds shut out one of the tires on Kurt's backhoe? And if he did, why hasn't Kurt mentioned it before?
I don't think that's true, you guys. Justin is a pretty good guy, and he's just going through hell. And I would never badmouth him at all. And if Kurt's tires were shot out, I don't know who did it. It certainly wasn't me, and I don't think Justin would do that. So,
hey, Ty,
they have had problems in the past, you guys, with equipment being shot at in that area, tires being shot. That's not the first time that's happened in that area.
Well, and you know, Ty, I was telling, because I had asked Jim this when he was on the show like a month or so ago, and I had asked him, and I was telling him the same thing, that if any of those guys were good backhoe operators, they could have buried that kid right there. You would have never found him. You know what I mean? It literally, if they know what they're doing, they could have compressed the ground enough. They could have pushed it down enough. And with the bad weather, the sand, the way it blows, all that stuff out there, I think he might be close, honestly.
I'm hoping so. I remember when this all first started, Don Hatley said that when Brenner showed up, he was disheveled, which meant dirty, hair messed up and everything. But he had evidently been by the pond before he showed up there to wash up. So you guys, my thought about it, being said, is maybe he did it by hand. That the backhoe may not have been used at all.
You
I
just
used to
use the
think
shovel.
that, yeah, at the beginning, I used to think that maybe the backhoe was the mode of transportation, everything. But the more we learn, the more I tend to think that Brenner probably used his pickup, is what I
Hey,
think.
Ty.
Yes,
Hey,
sir.
Ty. Tom Evans wrote, Ty Corbin, has anybody said how Dylan was going to keep the free range cattle off his crop?
During the summer, you guys, that's a good question. That I don't know. From what I understand, it wasn't fenced in. So, and the law out there on the free range is if you don't want cows on your property, fence it in. So I don't know. I don't have an answer for that. I've heard a lot of speculation where certain other creators have been blaming ranchers out there. And I can promise you guys this much. The ranchers I know from Grouse Creek that were running that area, and a couple of years ago, Weezer and her husband were running cows in that area. None of them would harm Dylan. They're all good people. The people from Grouse Creek are good people, and I don't see that at all. And same with the guy that owns the Barrow, all the pointing of the fingers and this and that. I think the cops have the right guy in jail. That's my personal opinion. And the pointing of fingers, and it's been done to me. They've said me. They've said Weezer and Dale. They've said the mom. They've said Tom Hardy. They've said all sorts of people around there. Well, who the fuck is it? That's how I feel. When they do that, it angers me. I'm not going to lie. It angers me. Nowadays, I'm just hitting back when it comes concerning that. But I think some of the ranchers out there, I think that they want to meet the person that's been doing that. We all know who that is. And the latest one that I heard is from a lady here in Wells. She posted it in my comments on the pond video, where for some reason people thought I was in hiding. We've just had a lot of things going on. I haven't been in hiding. We've had a lot of contracts that our family business has been fulfilling. We even worked today in this heavy snow. My son went out and did his thing. And I wasn't hiding from nobody. She said, "Oh, I saw you at seniors night at the basketball game in Wells." And then I didn't know this, but I guess Salty has been pointing his finger at Aiden Clune, at some rancher down in Curry. And she knew this rancher, and these people are pissed. These guys that he's been pointing his finger at, those ranchers, they're not as nice about this as I would be. And if I was the individual that was pointing the fingers at them, I'd be really careful if your ass shows back up in Montello or Wells, because those people are not happy with you, and I'm not happy with the guy either. So,
hey, Ty Corbin, we got a phone call on the line.
Okay.
Hey, Stiffy.
Yes.
Oh,
How are you? How are you, Stiffy?
Good. How are you, Johnny?
I'm doing good. I'm good. Good to see you you come on the live talk tonight. I
had a question for Ty.
Okay, go ahead.
Ty, are you transitioning?
Just into an asshole.
I'm just kidding, Ty. I'm just busting your balls. I just want to call.
I know, Stiffy. You're a good lady. We love you a lot.
Hey, Stiffy, can she hear us?
Yeah, she can hear you.
What's going on with the King of England? I missed that guy up here.
He's still sitting in that detention center.
That's no good.
They say they're going to get him back home in about 2 to 3 weeks. I think it's been about a week now, so another couple weeks.
Damn.
You'll be okay.
Well, I hope you're okay. Do you get to go see him?
No.
No.
Ain't nobody visit anybody since C word.
Yeah. So, Steve, you've been working a lot?
Oh, yeah, working and then taking care of this farm all by myself. I'm just extremely busy all the time.
Okay. Well, good to have you call in, girl.
Yep, good to talk to you guys. Y'all have a good night. I'll keep watching.
Okay, thank you, Stiffy.
Bye, Stiffy.
Bye-bye.
Is your hair growing back?
Sherry hung up. Hey, I got 2 more questions for you. CDC dogs, I think if Dylan is found, it would probably be by someone's accidentally stumbling onto him.
I agree. I think that at this point, you guys, it would be lightning in a bottle unless the person or people that did it come forward.
And
I feel that.
ladies and gentlemen, we do have one other person that's going to come here on the phone tonight, and he's got it out. He's calling you out, Ty Corbin. He's calling you out. He's going to be coming on the phone, and he's calling you out, Ty Corbin. And everybody has a good idea who we think this person is, but I'm not going to tell you who it is until he calls in. And he's got it out for. He's calling you out, Ty Corbin. And
Okay.
Huggy Bear, if you can, give us a call. You're being Summers, Huggy Bear. And one more question, Ty. Why did it take 9 months to empty the Lucan Pond?
Lucen Pond?
The Lucen Pond, yeah.
Good question, you guys. I don't know. Maybe it took that long for law enforcement to get permission to do it. I don't know.
Okay.
That's a good question.
Oh, here he is. Here's your phone
for
call.
example, you guys, I want to make this clear about Candace Cooley.
Huh?
My problem with her is not that I think she's involved. I've never thought that she was involved.
1 second.
My problem with Candace was
Okay.
she told people to quit searching. And she also said that all the mines had been searched. And first off, if one of my grandkids was missing, I would want all the help I could get. I wouldn't want anyone to stop looking. And that's just how I feel. And that angered me, you guys. And at one point, right after the first search, we were going to try to put together a bunch of people and go back out there again. And when she came on and said, don't look anymore, I was dumbfounded. And I don't know what reasoning was behind that. Maybe there's a good reason behind it. I don't know. But that was my problem with Candace Cooley. Not that I ever thought she was involved, and not that I hate her or anything like that. I just felt that she should have tried to get as many people to come help as possible. Now, to stay off of the properties and not search them, I wholeheartedly agree with that. And there was even people that didn't respect that. And I can promise you guys this much. I never trespassed that property where the pole barn is or Dylan's property, and I would never do that. Out of respect for the family and out of respect for what happened.
Are you okay, Ty?
Yeah, my mouth hurts, you guys. You can tell it's swollen.
Yeah.
And it's still numb. My whole face is still numb. And we did this this afternoon, so it's going to be a while. It's going to hurt a while. And I hope I'm speaking right. My face is numb, so I'm having a hard time saying some, like the S's and the T's right now.
Well, you know what? Here's this person that's got a thing for you, King Ty Corbin. He's on the phone now. Go ahead.
Yeah, Johnny. Gonna be Huggy Bear calling in.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Johnny, I heard there's a rumor going around about a hug that went down between me and Ty Corbin, man.
Oh yeah, what was that?
Well, it's true, man. You're gonna have to put King on mute. You're gonna have to mute King, cause he gonna get all type of jealous, man. You know how he be.
Yeah, I promise you. I don't love him.
Yeah, man. I got a message, man, to meet that Ty Corbin, man. Said over at the club, man. I called me a goober driver. You know the goober drivers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I called me a goober driver, and he took me down there to the club, man, to the address. And pulled up out front, man. I got out the car, man. I look up, man. I look up there at the sign. Man, you know what this place is called there, Johnny? You know what the name of this place be?
No, what place is that?
Man, I look at the sign, man. It said the paddle song, man. The paddle song. Yeah.
What the hell?
Was Kim at the door?
Yeah, Johnny. At that time, Huggy Bear started to get concerned, man. You know, so I was gonna call the goober back, but I said no, man. You know, he said he needed a hug. I'm gonna go on up in here, man. So I start going to the door, man. I'm walking up to the door, and there's that little short dude out there with some red hair, man. He's looking at me talking about some shit. He say, man, look at here, there can't no wild animal come up in here. And I said, what? He said, man, we can't let no wild animal up in here like you. I said, well, look here, man. I appreciate the compliment, but I was, I asked to be here. Somebody need a hug. Anyhow, he had me held up at the door, and I heard somebody in the side there holler, no, man, that's Huggy Bear, man. Let him in there. Let him in there. So I went on in, Johnny. I went on in the club.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got in there, man, and I was looking around, and this big, tall man come up to me. Looked like that guy right there on your show, man. He was tall, man. That dude, I'm about 6 feet tall, man. This dude about 6'8", 6'7". He looked like a tower. I was like, damn, look at this. I got the hug. I said, are you Ty Corbin? He said, yeah, that's me. Yeah. I was like, oh, Lord. Anyhow, man, I said, look, man, I'm in a hurry. I'm going to go on and give you your hug because you say you need a hug, baby. So anyhow, man, we got over there. And we got all next to each other. And we got this hug going, Johnny. It was going kind of good, over at the paddle sole because, Huggy Bear kind of freaky, man, but, yeah, he had me. We started hugging up on each other. Yeah, that's good, man. That's good, Ty. Yeah, you know what he did, Johnny, man? You know what this fool did, man?
What did he do?
Man, he was rubbing his fingers through my fur on my back, man, massaging my back. Yeah. Yeah, he told you the whole thing, man. Listen here, man. He had a hold of me. I said, look, man, you squeeze me in it tight, I'm going to break wind up in here, man. You squeezing too tight, baby, too tight. Yeah, but he had the hug on me, man. So, I don't, I think he tried to kiss me. I think that's how his mouth got a little sore, but I ain't but Huggy Bear got a big mouth. I got a big mouth, man. But anyhow, I kind of got him a little bit away from me. He said, now, Huggy Bear, man, before you go, I just want one more thing. And I was like, well, man, I do anything to get up out of this paddle, so, man, because the name fits. I done made a mistake. But he said, look, man, dance with me just one song. Just one song, just dance with me a little bit. And I said, look, Ty Corbin, man, I done throw my hip out last week at the butt naked house. But I can dance slow. I can dance slow with you, man. I can't do none of this damn twerking. I can't be shaking butt cheeks and stuff. Yeah. He said, no, Huggy, let's just dance this real slow, this slow song. So I said, okay, man. So I'm looking up at this fella, man. He a giant, man. I can just see the hairs on the bottom of his chin. I'm looking up, man. And we start this little slow dance. And all of a sudden, man, I felt this pain in my left foot. And it went from my left foot up my spine, man, all up into my ears and stuff, man. And the pain just came on. I was like, damn. And I backed up, man. I said, I looked down at my foot, and he's standing on my foot. He wear about a size 17. This man got about a size 17 foot. He done stepped on my left toe, man. It was hurting so bad. I sit down, Johnny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got my shoe off, man. Old toe swelled up like a damn tomato, man. I said, damn. And then old Ty, man, he talking about going to get a damn first aid kit. I said, shit. By the time he went to go find it, I hit the back door, man. Boom. I was gone. I got on about that paddle, so Lord have mercy, man. I made my way down to the veterinarian emergency assistant place down there. Went in, got on the gurney, man. I'm laying there, butt-ass naked. Yeah. They put a little sheet across me looking at my toe, man. That vet said, man, what happened? I said, Sasquatch stepped on my damn toe. He said, what? I said, Bigfoot. Bigfoot got a hold of Huggy Bear and stepped on my toe during a slow dance. He said, don't tell me no more. I already know who it is. I said, that's that, yeah. They said, your toe looked like it was run over by a train, man. I said, it feel like something. Is it still down there? He looked, he said, yeah, it's barely hanging on, but you still got a toe. So hell, he went out the room. You ain't gonna believe what happened next, Johnny. You ain't gonna believe it.
What happened next?
Yeah, nurse come up to the door, looked in, said, "You got a visitor." I said, "A damn visitor?" She said, "Yeah." And she said, "They want to come check on you, man." I said, "Well, okay, I'll send them on back here." Damn. So I'm laying there, man, and the door open, and guess who? Guess who coming through the door, Johnny?
Who?
Ty Corbin coming to check on Huggy Bear toe. I said, "Damn." Yeah, so he come in there. Well, I said, "Don't touch it, don't touch it." He down there talking about he can feel. I said, "No, man, just put some. No, don't touch my toe, man. Leave me. I'm in pain, man. Don't touch me. Leave me be. Leave me be, Ty." He talking about how he know how to put it back in place and shit. I said, "Ty, leave me be." I said, "Look, I'm Huggy Bear, man. I'm Huggy Bear. I don't like pain, man. I can't take no pain. Now, do me a favor." I said, "Listen, man, go down the hall, Go down the hall, give me a little cup of water, Ty. That's all you gotta do." And he's like, "Are you sure, man?" I said, "Listen, man, if you touch my toe, I'm gonna scream so loud it's gonna sound like a siren going off in here, man. You just go give me a cup of water and we be friends. I'll hug you later, man." Yeah, he said, "Yeah, Huggy, we gotta finish it." I said, "Go get my water, man." So he went on out the door, and I looked over at that window next to my bed. You know what I did, Johnny?
What's that?
I got back out. Quick, I hit the road, man. I pulled out my phone. I called. You know who I called, Johnny?
What's that?
You know who I called on the phone?
Who'd you call on the phone?
I had to call Big Daddy Double D, man. I said, "Listen, Big Daddy, you want to come get me down here? I'm trying to kill my ass." "All right, y'all looking good, man." I had to tell my little story, that rumor going around out there. "Y'all looking good up there. Got a good show. Huggy Bear, and I'm back out."
All right, later, brother.
He didn't tell the whole truth. He was really afraid of the size 17 shoe and what went with it. I don't know how he freelances that shit. It's funny.
That's funny as shit.
He's always come out with funny shit all the time.
What he didn't tell you is there was all sorts of people, mainly Kurt, tapping on my back wanting to dance with him. I said, "No one's cutting in here."
Looky Lou, nice to see you here. Yelly, nice to see you here. Kings and Queens, nice to see you here. The Sea Org, how you doing? Looky Lou, how you doing? And everybody else, thank you for coming into the chat room tonight and saying hi.
Hey,
You're
Ty,
all
so
welcome.
do you think that they will end up making some charging him, Brenner, here in the next week when he goes to court? Then you said next week, right?
Monday, I believe. Monday at 1:30, and yes, I believe they'll charge him. That's my personal opinion.
And what do you think it'll be for? For murder?
Homicide, yeah.
Homicide? I guess that's what they call it, homicide in there, huh?
Yeah. So I would think so. And I guess all the people that have been pointing their fingers at each other, and we all know who's been doing it. I hope all the people that have been watching his channel and believe in his bullshit watch what happens on Monday.
Hey, right here, I got a question from Tom Evans. Do you know when Ed Harshemberger left the Lucan area?
You guys, I haven't seen Ed Harshberger for about a year, and I don't know if he's been in that area when that weekend. I couldn't tell you whether he was there or not.
Well, was Ed Harshberger a full-time resident of that area, or was he back and forth to different spots?
Back and forth, and you guys, how can I put this? I am not a big Ed Harshberger fan. He's to me, he's the one that's responsible for putting Dylan out there, and Kurt's, I think, responsible for putting Brenner out there, and both of them together, this is what led to there. So, there was a lot of wheeling and dealing with property and all sorts of stuff in that area that Ed Harshberger was doing. I believe he even went to jail once over something to do with some of the property or with acquiring trailers or something like that for that area. So
Right.
he owes a
You know,
lot of.
Ty,
He owes a lot of. Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry, you broke up on me. So go ahead.
Oh,
I didn't mean to cut
Ed
you off.
Harshberger owes a lot of people in the Montello area wages for working out there, and myself included, and I would imagine Don Hatley too. So
Go
ahead.
So with Ed Harshberger, was he just like a middleman to everybody out there? He'd find the work and then get the labor and then just keep the money. I don't understand what do you mean by people's wages?
I think that he borrowed money from investors and we cleared a lot of property out there, you guys. Everything about 5 miles east of that grain shed from Little Pigeon Road to the railroad tracks, a lot of that property was cleared. And he got a lot of investors to do that and pissed a lot of the investors off because there was no return. So I guess the juice wasn't worth the squeeze. And he ended up not paying a lot of people that worked out there, myself included. So, and I know of at least 2 or 3 other people that he did the same thing to. So with me, it was north of $3,000. So
Ty, what do you say to the people out there who say, well, you don't even live there? What do you say to those people?
Hey, Ty.
I'd like you to answer that because a lot
Hey,
of
Ty,
people
we
ask that of you.
Hey, Ty, we got a call on the line for you, Ty.
Okay, hold on. The first question, what do I say to the people that say I don't even live out there?
Yeah.
I've lived out there for 33 years. And because I moved Phyllis to Wells 2 years ago, I still come a couple of times a week. I'm very familiar with the people out there, very familiar with the land. And the people that say, oh, you don't even live out there, I guarantee you that you can take me anywhere from Montello, blindfold me, take me an hour away and unblindfold me and I'll know right where I'm at. So anyone that thinks, oh, you don't even live out there, they have no idea what they're talking about.
Hey, Ty, you ready for the caller now?
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead, caller. Go ahead. Ask your questions.
Hey, Ty, this is the repo guy, man. I don't know if you've heard of me or not, man. Me and Jim's had we've had our differences, but I just had kind of a few questions for you. Some of them kind of in regards to him. You know, on his show the other day, he released that I guess a fan had purchased him a side-by-side from Bass Pro Shop, and that he was going to be out there searching himself for Dylan rounds. Do you see that happening?
No, I don't think that'll ever happen. Jim Terry come out to the desert? No.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, he said that a fan of his purchased him an $18,000 side by side, which is bullshit. It wasn't an $18,000. The top of the line Bass Pro Shops, which are made by Polaris, is $18,000, and this one was not. It was just one of the 2-seaters, 45 mile an hour. But my question is, though, you know, he definitively said that you know, a fan bought it, and he was going to be out there searching. And I wanted to see if you thought that he would actually get out there and do it. I mean,
I don't think so. That's my personal opinion. He said many a times that he's not a searcher and he would never come out here. So I don't believe that.
Go ahead.
My next question is, man, well, you know everybody out there. A quick question that Dan Iverson.
No, I don't know. I don't know everybody, but I know a lot of people, but I don't know everybody.
Okay. How familiar are you with Dan Iverson?
And then $4.99.
I've met Dan when he was drilling a well across the tracks last summer. So I've met him one time. I'm not very familiar with him at all. He seemed to be a pretty decent guy when I went from the 10 minutes that I talked to him.
Is that family as well off as what I've heard them to be?
Well, he afforded to drill a commercial well right across the tracks from Montello for his farm over there for the .M. He bought the .M. So I would imagine that he's financially set, yeah.
Like, I've heard the family owns helicopters and everything.
Yeah, that would not shock me. That could probably very well be true.
Okay. Because I had maybe questioned, because I know supposedly Dylan had done some work for him. And in the beginning, and I don't dispute anything that, you're out there every day. If you think that they got the right guy, then I got no reason to believe anything different. I'm on the other side of the United States, man. I don't know what the hell is going on. None of it makes sense to me, none of it. But, I almost wondered in the beginning if maybe the kid didn't see something that he wasn't supposed to see, because it seemed to me in the beginning that, maybe a professional had done it due to the lack of evidence. But now I'm starting to think that maybe they have more evidence that they're just not disclosing. So and my next question is,
my personal...
I know you have a good relationship with Jim Terry, it seems like. I know there was a little bit of tension between you guys with the whole Lance interview and all that. And I'm not trying to cause anybody any problems or anything like that. My problems with Jim are that's just my problems. But
go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
I guess my question is, man, do you think that he has hurt this case at all?
No.
Maybe if Jim had not have had anything to do with this, do you think we would have a different outcome yet than what we have?
No, yeah, the outcome would be that people would have forgot about this case a long time ago. Jim, through his antics and the things that he does, kept this case going just with his personality. Am I a little bit upset at Jim with what he did with Johnny here? Yes. Is Jim an asshole? Yes. But did he keep the story rolling? I believe that Jim really kept the story of Dylan Rounds going, whether the parents hate him or not. He was one of the key figures in keeping the story front and center. And a lot of it was just... What did he say, Johnny?
Yeah, I don't question that at all. I just question if, going on and speaking, the way he does to and about people, and it just made me wonder if maybe his antics didn't also hinder it a bit as well. You know what I mean?
Maybe Repo Guy and people's opinion on the internet. But I think as far as the cops go and the evidence that they've collected and the things that they have done, I don't think there's anything that Jim Terry could have done to interfere with the case from out of state. The thing that he did do was keep people interested in it. And he was very good at that for the first, 4 months. He's just kind of passed it off lately. But I think he was responsible for keeping interest in the case from the public, definitely.
That's
not a bad thing.
He definitely done that. That's for sure. I first got into it from the Diesel brothers, and I think it's awesome, man, that you had the ability to get out there and search with those guys, because I don't give a fuck what Jim Terry says about the Diesel brothers, or I don't think Jim Terry's the greatest creator on YouTube. Those guys have it going on. For sure. They've made a life. And he said, I heard Jim make this statement about, what Heavy D Sparks was certified in. And if you spent some time with him, you probably know that he's actually spent the greater part of his life getting certified in as many things as he can. He's an actual pilot and all. The guy just bought a Black Hawk helicopter, but At any rate, man, I just wanted to see if you thought he would actually get out there and get searching and all that. And I wanted to see. I was just curious, man, because I poked around a little bit.
I didn't get a 25 on there.
I was just curious about them too.
Oh.
So I won't take up any more of y'all's time. And thanks, man, for getting out there and spending your time searching for somebody for nothing. I mean, there's not a lot of people. It's pretty admirable. Anyway, y'all have a good night.
All right, thank you. Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you.
Good questions.
Yeah, it was really good question.
Yeah, I don't think that Jim hurt this case at all. If anything, he was the one that kept people interested in it just from the way he does shit. And are his tactics and the way he does things, do people like it? No, not most of them. But in the way he did it, it kept people interested. And they're still interested because of what Jim Terry did. Now, did he make Candace mad and stuff? Yes. And I wouldn't have done the things the way he did it, but Jim's Jim. We all know that.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to say anything bad about him.
And that's the thing, Ty, is, you know, I don't hate any of these people because I don't fucking know them. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know them personally. So I can only hate somebody so much. Do I dislike some of their antics? Yeah, I do. Yes. But I don't hate anybody. And there was multiple creators that kept Dylan's name out there, whether it was bad, good, or however people think. They did still keep it out there. You know, whether some of it was bullshit, yeah, I'm sure a lot of it was, because there's really the lack of evidence. You know, a lot of it's just hearsay, or the person said this person said that, but without the evidence to back it up, there really isn't much to talk about. You know what I mean? As far as new evidence that hasn't been discussed over and over and over again.
That's it.
Okay, Ty Corbin, here's another question. Ty Corbin, do you have any idea what's going on with Chase Venstra?
Yes, he called me yesterday and he called me today. He has a hearing on the 8th of May at the federal building in Salt Lake City, and I believe he's facing federal gun charges, and he's looking at 30 months if they convict him, up to 30 months. So that's what's going on with Chase. I'm going to go tomorrow and put some more money on his books. I was told a few things about him that turned out not to be true. And he asked me to call his kids and tell him that he loves them, and I'm going to do that for him. I wouldn't, you know. And I'll probably tomorrow, if they get the streets cleared here in Salt Lake, I'll probably go put some money on his books so he can make some phone calls. But that's what's going on with Chase. And he told me that Paramount Plus got a hold of him and that they were going to put in their documentary that at first he was a suspect and is no longer a suspect, and he's been completely cleared. That's what he told me. So that's what's going on with Chase. And I'm sure he'll call me again tomorrow and I'll know more of what's going on. But May 8th at the federal building in Salt Lake City to face gun charges. And that's what's going on with Chase. Robert, from what I understand, is out.
Huh?
That he's out.
He's been released.
Yeah, and free. Yeah, from what I understand. I haven't seen Robert, but I've been
Where's
told.
Brenner? Hey, Ty, where's Brenner going to be? Where's Brenner going to be? Where's he going to be going to court at?
I would imagine in Box Elder County. That's where his charges are.
That's where he's being held, right? In Box Elder Jail?
No, he's being held.
Or is he in Weber County Jail, huh?
Weber County Jail, which is Ogden.
Right, I forgot.
Right.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, so that's where we stand with that right there, everybody. And
well, Johnny, what I wanted to ask Ty is, with the hearing that's coming up, what is it for? I didn't follow all the hearing stuff. So did they say what the hearing's for?
No, but I believe they're going to charge him on this hearing. I don't know if it's an arraignment. I don't know what it is.
Sorry to interrupt you, Johnny.
Oh, you're fine. And somebody in the chat room was asking me why do I look skittish or anything? I don't look skittish, do I?
You look fine, Johnny. Don't worry about that.
You look fine to me. You look the same as you always do.
Thank you.
You might have a little red light on you. You look a little bit red, but that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is red light.
I don't have a red light on me. It's my own. It's one of my my canvas light. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, let's change the subject for a minute there, and everybody, if anybody wants to, instead of a super sticker, a super chats, anybody wants to do the Cash App instead, you guys are more than welcome to hit my Cash App. It's a money sign YARB 76, and all the proceeds are going to, where are they going again, Kurt? I mean, where are they going again, Ty Corbin?
EquiSearch.
EquiSearch. They're going to go to EquiSearch.
Yeah.
So it'd be better if y'all just send them over to my thing, so I can go ahead and just pay them out tomorrow. That'll be better if you guys just cash at me, and so we can get that done over there, and stuff like that. Thank you, Fumble Nuts, for telling me I'm doing a good job. Thank you. Have a blessed night, everyone. God bless you all. Johnny, Ty Corbin, and Chief. Thank you, McNinsey D. Thank you for coming over. The only reason why everybody's leaving right now is because of Jim Terry came in. Jim Terry came in my chat room and says, "Hey, we're going live over there on his channel."
That's all right. Who cares?
Yeah.
Yep.
Congratulations. Go live. Who gives a damn? It's not a contest.
Yeah. CDC Dogs. Thank you. It's okay. CDC Dogs. You don't cash app. It's okay. CDC Dogs. It's okay.
Like I said, Johnny,
thank
I
you
got
for
better shit to do in my life. It's called repairing
working on that truck.
Fucking KC Turbo. Trying to replace this fucking exhaust gasket back here that blew out. You know, real life shit I have to deal with.
Right. Let me read these super stickers real quick.
That intake boot.
What's that?
Go ahead, Johnny.
$4.99. CDC Dogs coming in at $4.99. Johnny, great show tonight. I changed my pick for King. Thank you so much for the super sticker. Laying a pipe coming in. Great show, Johnny. Jim Lane Terry is jealous. Jim Lion Terry. Jim Lion Terry is jealous. Thank you so much. Hotspot coming in at $3 super sticker. Thank you so much. Super sticker. Hotspot again coming in at $2 super sticker. And Cheryl Locke coming in at $20 super sticker. Thank you so much, everybody. And we do got a Cash App. We do got a Cash App coming in. And the Cash App was PZ. PZ came in at Cash App at $25. Okay, now I got another question for you, Ty Corbin.
Okay.
From Joseph Lloyd.
Hey, Joseph.
Yo.
Hey, son.
Carter's asleep downstairs.
Okay.
I'm gonna just take him to his mom's tomorrow.
Sure.
People have said that Robert Ellis were on the pond was law enforcement when the phone was found.
He came out. Where's Grandpa?
Hold on a second,
he's
you guys.
upstairs.
Yeah.
Okay.
I told you I had to do this.
I'm sorry, dude. Because your family's more important than a fucking podcast. So I'll just drop him at his mom's at 3:30 when I leave in the morning.
Go ahead, you guys.
Okay, two questions. People have said that Robert Alvarez were at the pond with law enforcement when the phone was found.
He was there that day, but they had already taken him away about 30 minutes before the phone was found. He had no idea it was found there.
Ty's already said this like 50 times
100
already.
times.
That he got arrested before.
The story happened like this. Yeah, you guys, it happened like this. Justin called me that morning. He was gotten a hold of Robert the day before. Robert agreed to go out to Lucin and other places to show them where he'd been dropping off and picking up Chase. That morning, I got a call from a guy that was working for Justin, or a good friend. I don't know what the case is. He was an ex-law enforcement officer from Idaho. He told me they couldn't find Robert, asked me if I could. I made the drive from Wells to Montello. It took me about 10 minutes to find him. He agreed to go out there, but he didn't want to ride with them. He was afraid. So he rode with me in my beater Volkswagen. On the way out there, he pointed to places where he had picked Chase up along the highway and dropped him off. And when we got out to Lucin, it was evident that it looked like we were going to the pond. When we got there, he got out of my Volkswagen, got into Tim Goss, Toyota. He was the ex-law enforcement. Tim Goss advised him that there was law enforcement there and that they were probably going to arrest him, and said, "Do you want us to just drive away?" Because they had not seen Robert at that point in time. Robert said, "No, I didn't have nothing to do with this. I don't think Chase did either. I'm going to cooperate. They're going to arrest me sooner or later anyway." And they arrested him. He cried a little bit when he got arrested, but he cooperated with them. He did exactly what he said he was going to do. They took him away in a pickup truck that had a cage in the back. It was a dual cab. Is that what that's called? A king cab.
Crew cab.
And, right, a king cab. And they took him, I guess, to all the places that he was going to show law enforcement. And then they took him to Box Elder Jail. He was there a month or so, and then they transferred him to Elko. In Elko, they gave him a deferred sentence. And I think he had drug treatment in Reno, and I don't know whether he walked away from it or not. I think that they made no consequences for him to walk away for cooperating. And I don't know whether he walked away or not. I was told he did. He called and asked me for a ride. I told him I wasn't going to do that. I wanted him to go through the counseling that he needed. And whether he did or not, I'm not sure, you guys. I'm pretty sure that he's out and with his girlfriend. And that's Robert.
Oh,
and that's the whole story about that. He was not there when they found the pond. When they found the phone in the pond, he was already taken away by Box Elder sheriffs.
Well, Ty, I wanted to ask you, the mother wasn't there either, right?
No.
Right.
Nope.
Okay. Because a lot of people think that the mom was there and she wasn't.
No, Candace was not there. And I told you guys what the cops said. When they came out of the phone, they said, "Can't tell her." And I didn't. I don't know how she found out.
Well, what I would like to know is on one of Kurt's interviews, he said that him and Brenner and I think it was Dawn were at the bar hanging out, and I swear that they had already knew about the phone being found at that pond. Is that correct or no? Am I wrong? It's been months now.
Somehow they found out about it.
I got a question to ask you, Ty.
That was one of my big pet peeves, King. Hold on a second. I'm sorry, you guys. I've been drinking Slurpees because my mouth hurts really bad. That was one of my big pet peeves, was how Kurt found out about that and how Salty found out about the phone being in the pond and coming out intact. And in my opinion, the only way they would know about that, they didn't find out through law enforcement. They didn't find out through Don Hatley. Law enforcement would have had no reason to tell him that they found that. And when they looked at me and others that were there, meaning Justin, some of his kids were there, Tim Goss, and then the rest of it was search team and sheriffs. And they said, if you say anything, basically you're interfering with the investigation. And I didn't say anything for months and months, and being prodded about it, all sorts of shit. I didn't say anything until they said that it was found in the pond and intact. And in my opinion, the only way they would know that is from the person that put it there, directly or indirectly. Law enforcement didn't tell them. Law enforcement didn't tell Don Hatley. They wouldn't even tell the mother. So how did you find out, Salty?
Okay, two questions. King Samoan tells King Samoan to say, "Crack my fingers backwards."
He says what?
Fingers backwards?
Say, "Crack my fingers backwards." Backward finger my.
Okay, crack my fingers backwards.
And Looky Lou is asking, as when Ty Corbin is coming through my area again, Looky Lou would like to meet up with Ty Corbin and Phyllis. And that was from Looky Lou.
I'm in Salt Lake right now. And I think she's in this area. Yeah.
I don't have Looky Lou's number, so if I had Looky Lou's number, I'll give it to you, Ty. I don't have it.
Yeah, I don't have it either. I don't mind saying hello to people. I don't mind that. I've met Ben. I've met Darla. I've met Arizona. So I've tried to meet people that, have been involved in this, at least in the chat and stuff like that.
Okay, and I had one other question.
Go ahead.
I had one other question for you too from from somebody else. Where does it go? Let me see. I'm trying to find it. I want everybody to get their questions out. It's hard to do it like this, you know what I mean? Well, okay, I can't find it, but there was a few questions about Johnny. I'll give it to you, and you give it to him. Okay, there you go. Looky Luke's going to give me her number, and I got to give it to you.
Okay.
Okay. No problem.
I might ask the person just to repost the question again, Johnny.
Yeah, if you got any more questions, if you guys got any more questions, just repost it again because the chat's going really fast and I can't see it. So
I'm trying to pay attention to the chat now too. I stopped working.
Yes, Nance, I did read it. I did read out my super chats, Nance. I sure did. I did read them out. Nance looks a guy.
The chat's going by super fast, and I only see like 6-7 people talking.
What do the locals say about the case?
Depends on what locals you talk to. Most of them think Brenner did it, and I hate to say this, Kurt, but there's a lot of people out there that think you're involved. Personally, I don't have any evidence saying that Kurt's involved other than how he's acted and things that he has said. I certainly hope he isn't. One thing I do think is that Brenner told him some half lies and half truths. And I think part of the reason Kurt is acting the way he's acting is maybe he doesn't want to get caught from other crimes because of this one or other things that he's been doing. That could very well be it. I don't know. I can honestly say, you guys, I don't know. But some of the things that Kurt has said is really make me wonder. And I can name them now. These are the reasons why. I think that, and this is just my personal opinion. This doesn't mean that he is, you guys. Don't think that he is just because I say this, because none of it's proven. But he didn't tell law enforcement that Dylan was living at his house for over a week after Dylan went missing. And I know that for a fact because I called law enforcement and told them, did you know that Dylan was living at Kurt's house? They said, no, just like that. And I said, well, you think that would be important? And the detective said, yes. And then they confronted him with it. Then he finally told them, then he made every excuse in the book of why he was living there. That's one reason. Another reason, Kurt said, oh, you'll never find him up in those mines. Well, how the fuck do you know that we wouldn't find him up in those mines unless you know where he's at? That's another reason. Another reason is he called Justin and Candace and told them that Dylan was being held at Robert's house. Robert's house is at his mom's. His mom is at Betty Vilas, and she's harmless. She wouldn't hurt a flea. Kurt has known her for over 25 years, and he knows that she wouldn't hurt a flea. And he also knows that there's no way she would let anybody hold anybody hostage at her house. So that's another reason why. The list goes on. I'm sure if I sit here and think some more, knowing where the phone was at, that's another reason I think he's involved. And these are all just my personal opinion, you guys. And the biggest thing that makes me think that he's involved was where the phone was found. The phone was found at the pond, and I believe it was put there at the edge of the pond where it would be found, right near the water pipe, for this reason. All of those guys have been pointing their finger at Chase and Robert the whole time. And it's evident that Chase was not the person that put the phone there. I believe the person that put the phone there was Brenner. This is just my personal opinion. And I believe he did it, maybe even under Kurt's coercion, because those were the only people that were keeping track of where Chase was at. They knew he was out there at Lucin, and that's why I think evidence was put in that pond to make him look like he did it. And the biggest person that would have incentive to do that is Kurt. And you guys, this is just my personal opinion. So that's the reasons I think what I think. And I don't know if that makes sense to anybody, but that's why I think what I think.
I'm not going to lie, Ty. I've always thought Kurt had something to do with it since the very beginning. And the more because I've listened to pretty much every interview he's done on it, pretty much every show. And I don't know why I got hooked on Dylan Rounds so bad. I don't even follow true crime stuff. Never have, and I never have afterwards. It's really the only story I've really paid attention to. but listening to some of the stuff he said, it's hard to pull out what's truth and what's lies with him, but usually they say when the guy's drunk, they tend to tell the truth quite a bit. And some of the things I heard him say were a little suspicious, to say the least.
Yes, sir. At least
there's a question I got to ask you. There's a question on the phone, Ty Corbin.
Okay.
It says there's a few of them, so I'm just going to read them to you, then you can answer. Okay.
Okay.
Want me to read them all? Want me one at a time?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Question for Ty Corbin: why did Tanelia tell Ellenberg not to talk on YouTube? Was there a blowback from what Ellen and Dylan did talk about on YouTube?
So Taylina, I think, said that to her because as she went into Troy's house that night, she was drunk. And you guys, I like Ellenberg. I don't care the people that hate her and stuff. I like her a lot. She has a good heart. I don't care if she drinks like she drinks. I think that her heart in this with Dylan, even though she said some really rude things at one time because she was tired of being prodded, but there's no way, shape, or form I believe that she would be involved in this. I believe her intentions are good, and the people that have pointed their finger at her and at her son, you couldn't be more wrong. They don't have anything to do with this. Their only, how can I put this? Their only involvement with this whole case is the people that owe them money for the saddle sore. That's their only involvement. So, yes, I like Ellenberg, and I don't believe in any way, shape, or form her or her son are involved in this. And the same thing with Dale and Louisa, and the same thing with most everybody that's had their finger pointed at them. The only person I believe that I know, and I feel in my heart for a fact that I know is involved, is James Brenner. Even though I feel the way I feel about Kurt, I don't know it for a fact. It's just the way I feel from things that he said. That doesn't mean that he is involved.
Right.
And another thing I want to set straight about this, you guys, Doug Hutton at one time pointed their finger at those guys and saying, oh, they're selling meth and all sorts of shit like that. I have never seen Kurt do meth. I don't think Kurt ever does meth. I believe that the only thing he does is alcohol. And the same thing with their brother, and they wouldn't allow anyone to sell meth out of their bar. Even though I don't like them right now, and I'm angry at Kurt, I'm not going to tell lies. They don't do meth. They never have. And they would not allow it to be in their bar or being smoked in there or anything like that, some of the shit that was being said. So they make their money selling alcohol and whatever other scams they pull, but meth isn't one of them.
Okay. Is it true that Wiseworth or Kurt is putting money on Brenner's books, while he is trying to keep him quiet?
So I was told they only put $50 on his books and he didn't call. So okay. I don't know what's going on between Kurt and Brenner. I tend to think that at this point that I don't think that Brenner's attorney would let him talk to Kurt or anything at this point. And that window's long past. I think that window should have been the first week or two of when he was incarcerated and when they incarcerated him under suspicion. And on the gun charges right away is when Kurt should have gone to try to talk to him. Yeah, that's a good question, you guys. I can't answer it. I just believe that Kurt and Brenner were friends. I believe that Brenner probably told Kurt half lies and half truths, and I really hope that he's not involved.
Yo!
Yes.
I gotta go to the gas station fill up my truck.
Okay, you guys, I got to get for a second.
You're good. Marcus is asleep on the couch, but if he wakes up,
okay,
he's gonna run out the door and try to find me running down the street.
I'm gonna move downstairs where I can see him. I'll just keep this on you guys. So I'll do this.
Okay.
Okay. I'm just gonna watch my grandson sleep so he doesn't go out looking for his dad.
Okay, guys. Ty Corbin's going downstairs for a minute.
Yeah, we're all right. I'm still here, you guys.
Okay. And
Go ahead.
what do you say?
Yeah, one time I fucked up in Gainesville.
Oh.
And went to the gas station and did stuff like that. And I came home, going around the corner. He was 2 years old. He was running down the street in his underwear.
We got a very brave grandson.
How you doing? It's the truth. How are you? How you doing? It's the truth.
Okay, he's okay.
You okay? You okay, Ty?
Yes.
How's your? You gotta go back. You gotta go back there and get your drinks too.
When I have to, I'll go back up and get them.
Okay. I don't want you to. I don't want you being hurt with your mouth at all. You know what I mean?
It's swollen along here and over here. So, and it's still numb. My whole face is
I mean, you can stay. I mean, you don't have to. If you feel like you can't go no more. I understand. Everybody will understand that you just had cosmetic work on your mouth and stuff, and we all understand that you don't have to. Stay on here as long as you want.
That's all right. We're going to keep going, Johnny. I told you I'd do this, and it just happened to be the day that I went to the dentist. So, and as you can see, it looks a lot better. So
it does look a lot better.
And I strongly encourage you to. Yeah, I strongly encourage you to do the same thing, Johnny.
I'm going to.
So you'll feel a lot better.
Sweet, dude. I'll be right back.
Okay, I'll see you in a bit. So.
You should look out this door.
It's all shoveled now. We had a lot of snow here over. You guys, yesterday, Phyllis had an appointment at the Huntsman, and it was for her lung. The cyst that was removed off of her left lung, and the doctors there told us it couldn't be any better. There's no signs of the cancer coming back. No, what they call it, metastasizing. They didn't see anything like that. She had a little bit of fluid on her left lung, but they thought that was normal. It wasn't a whole lot or anything, but we couldn't have got better news. So we got another 6 months before she's got to go back about the lung. And she still has the infusion appointments once a month for the leukemia. But the lung cancer thing, they got it all, and it looks good so far. So we'll do every 6 months with that for 2 years, and then after 2 years, it'll go to 1 year if everything stays good for 2 years. And I believe it's going to. I'm really happy about the results. We both went home really happy yesterday.
Yeah, someone's got a question for King. Hey, King.
Yeah, I'm here. What up?
Yeah, Classy.
I'm going to turn down the TV. Hold on.
Okay, Classy Colt wants to know if you got your truck fixed.
Yeah, I fixed it, and then I blew it up again, so I'm fixing it again. Well, I shouldn't have blew it up. I blew up.
Yeah, he fixed it nice.
Yeah, one of the exhaust brackets blew out. That's what I was showing. I don't think I blew my turbo up, but I haven't pulled it apart first to see. I'm hoping not, because my turbo is about $2,000 for that turbo. So I'm really hoping I didn't blow my turbo out, but it still got oil. It was still getting oil, so that's a good thing. So I don't know. I'm still ripping it apart again. But yeah, I'm getting the same thing. So I'm getting an injector, #1 injector failure, or not a failure, an error, electronic error. And I think what happened is the way my truck's tuned, it's tuned all the way up to 600 horsepower. So I turned the tune down all the way down. So it's about 45% power, just so I can get better fuel mileage. And when I did that, I think because the injectors have to get broken in, and I don't know if it's lack of fuel that did it. I'm not sure, but I think it's something to do with me turning the tuner down all the way. So the 75 thirds. So they're what's meant for the.
Yeah, Ty Corbin, we got another question for you. It says, what's the connection between Salty and the Wadsworth?
Very good question. My personal opinion is he's a Wadsworth through marriage or through a cousin or something like that. I have seen times where in background noise where Kaylina said, "Love you, cuz," stuff like that. So, and we have seen him with the Wadsworth truck, all of that. I don't know for sure. I don't know whether they hired him to do damage control. I don't know. But one thing's for certain. If anybody's done anything to hurt this case, it's been those guys. They went out to the pole barn, what you guys call the grain shed. They removed stuff from there in that white truck. They've been out to Dylan's farm. They trespassed that property. And I don't know. I don't know what to say about it. Personally, my opinion of Salty is he's a dirtbag. He's told nothing but lies about people, everyone from me to Dale and Louisa, to Tom Hardy, to Dan Iverson, to ranchers out there in Rouse Creek. Boy, who else has he blamed? The list is so long. And the worst part is they haven't blamed the person that they arrested for it. And you guys, the ones following his show, I hope that you really wake up on Monday if they charge Brenner. I hope that you just leave his channel, because it's been nothing but pointing his finger at people for content. And personally, I know of ranchers out there that if they see Salty, he's not going to like what happens. And those cowboys, they don't mess around. They don't talk. They just do it. And I think the same thing holds true for some of the ranchers south of Wells that he tried to blame for Aiden Clune. If I was him, I wouldn't show his goddamn face anywhere around Montello or Wells. And that's just for his own safety. I know there's people that are very angry at him, myself included. And I would have to say that if I saw him face to face, it would take everything I have not to dislocate his jaw. So that's just my personal feelings, you guys. I don't like him. I don't like what he's done.
Hold on, Kurt. Hold on, Ty. Hey, everybody that's coming over here telling me that Jim Terry's live, thank you so much. We already knew he was live. We already knew he was live. But go ahead, Ty Corbin. Go ahead.
So Salty's done a lot of finger pointing, and he's been totally wrong. And the only one he hasn't pointed his finger at is James Brenner. So if Brenner gets charged, well, this is what I got to say. When Brenner gets charged, Salty, if you got all this evidence on people that you've been blaming, then take it to the cops.
Right. That would only make sense. Take it to the police.
And the reason he never will is because it's all bullshit. He knows it. He's been doing it for content. And all you idiots that follow him and you think that he knows anything about Montello, he's a tourist. He's a tourist out there. So any of you that have been following him and you think that he knows what's up with this case, I got news for you. You're shit for brains. He doesn't know anything about this case other than what Kurt has told him.
Right. Makes sense. Definitely makes sense. Everybody's saying Jim Terry's live. Yes, we know that, people. It's kind of funny.
Johnny Marlboro's live. That's what I say.
You know, the funny thing is these people think that Johnny is going to get all mad or angry. Nobody cares. At the end of the day, nobody cares, man. It's YouTube. Who gives a shit? That's how I feel anyway.
That's it. I don't, you guys, I don't do YouTube for the money. I don't do it. My search channel's for one reason, and that's to keep people interested in the search for Dylan Rounds. It doesn't make any money. I don't ever ask for money on it. As a matter of fact, if you want to use videos from my search channel to keep the story of Dylan Rounds going, you're perfectly allowed to do that. I don't care. As long as you're using it to keep his story going. Now, if you take one of my videos and use it to slam him in any way or manner, or the parents, I promise you I will strike you. But if you use it for content to keep the story of Dylan Rounds going, I'm fine with that. I don't care about the money. Even if you make money off the video, I don't care. As long as you're being nice about it and you're spreading the story of Dylan missing, I'm fine with that. And that goes for anybody. Warlike Wrath did it today, and I don't care. I'm okay with him doing that.
Hey, Ty Corbin.
Go ahead.
Hey, what do you say about like what Fast Eddie's saying here, that they think it's weird that the people, the farmers in that area where Aiden Clune went missing, where is that, Wells, that they know some of the farmers from Montello Lucin area? Is it just because they're so close and the farmers, well, most farmers know each other from 100 miles away.
Yeah, you guys, so the Montello area and Wells are about 50 miles away from each other. But I guarantee you, Dale and Louisa, they know ranchers out in Clover Valley. Clover Valley knows ranchers out at the Gamble Ranch. A lot of the kids from the Gamble Ranch go to school here in Wells, so they know each other that way. And I can tell you guys, there's some of these ranchers south of Wells, they're fucking pissed at you, Salty. They're mad about you pointing the finger that they would ever do anything at all like that. especially when a lot of them spent their time out there looking for it. So
right,
it's not the right thing to do, buddy. You can get away with doing that in Salt Lake, pointing your dick beaters at people, but you do that here, you'll answer for it. And I'm sure that if you come out here, you will answer for it. So, and that's not a threat. That's a promise.
well, and that's the thing, Ty, is I've spent a lot of time out in the, you know, whatever you want to call it, the boondocks or whatever you want to call it, you know, and you know, I don't know about that area so much, but I know areas of Nevada and areas of Oregon, Washington, and even Northern California, you usually don't, usually know a lot of the people around you. You don't necessarily hang out with them, but I know you get to know them because you see them every day. You know what I mean? Versus, and some of them are friendly and some of them aren't. I know, like, some of my neighbors, you know, some of them are white supremacist people. Some of them are just old pot farmers that just want to be left alone. You know, there's a whole variety of different people out there. Do you think if somebody knew something about what actually happened there that they would say it, or do you think they'd keep their mouth shut?
I think if they were not involved, they'd be collecting that $200,000. That's what I think personally. And I guarantee you, even though a lot of bad things have been said, I'm going to give you an example. The tweakers that Kurt's always been pointing his finger at. So the day that Chase came back from Ogden, I think the Sunday after Dylan went missing, he was seen digging stuff up on a property out there that tweakers own, so to speak. And they called the cops, and they gave them the, what would you call it, the thumb drive that the video was on of what they were doing out there. And they actually cooperated with the police. When the police came out there and got the thumb drive with the video of Chase showing that he was there the Sunday night after and the Monday morning, and him and Robert had dug some things up on that property, they cooperated. They didn't do what Kurt did. They didn't lie by omission. They called the cops. The cops asked them, one of the things that was said was, do you guys do drugs here? And Paul looked right at him and said, is this about drugs or is this about a missing boy? The cop looked at him and said, it's about a missing boy. Kurt said, I mean, then the person that owned the property that was Kurt was calling a tweaker said, you guys can search the whole thing. We don't have anything to do with it. Here's the thumb drive of those two digging something up on this property. Do what you will with it. So they cooperated, unlike some other people.
Yeah, that's just weird that he wouldn't, you know, knowing he says he's, you know, the closest person to Dylan, but knowing that he didn't go to the police right off the bat, knowing that the kid was missing, is just weird to me. Or letting them know, hey, he was staying at my property.
King, I don't know that Kurt knew he was missing. I don't know that for a fact. And I don't know if anybody knows that. But one thing is certain. He did not tell law enforcement that Dylan was living at his place until almost a week after he went missing. And so he lied by omission.
Kurt said he knew that Dylan was missing because I thought the grandma had called him and asked him if he had seen him.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, but before that, I don't know if he knew or not.
Right. Because him and his daughter said the last time they saw him was Friday.
Friday morning. Right, Friday morning. That was one of my questions when he came on Jim's show. That was one of my questions to him is I did ask Kurt what happened Friday and what happened Saturday. Where were you and what did you do? And he wouldn't answer. And that was the night him and Ellen were on Jim's show with me.
Oh, okay. I must have missed that one. I didn't see that one.
So Johnny, you know when I do that thing that says I'm not gay on your channel, that's what that's all about. We screamed that night, and the only one that cared, Kurt, was you. None of us care.
Yeah.
And I want to make that perfectly clear. I don't care if Kurt's gay. I don't care if Dylan was gay. I don't care if someone's gay. I never have cared. It's not my lifestyle, but I don't care if you are. My son that lives next door to us in Wells, I'm in Salt Lake at my other son's house right now, but he has gay friends, and when they come over, when they do their Dungeons and Dragons or whatever they do, they come and give me a hug, and I hug them. I don't care. I have no, how can I put this? I have no animosity towards gay people whatsoever. What you do in your own private life is your own business. It's not my lifestyle. I could say the only thing that I really don't like about gayness is when you do the flamboyant thing, you throw it in someone's face and say either accept it or go to hell. I don't believe in that either, the other way around. So I believe in let and live, live and let live. Sorry. So,
hey, Ty Corbin, let me ask you a question, Ty Corbin. Do you think I should have people go over there and promote my channel on like he's doing over here?
No.
No, you don't need to, Johnny.
Somebody will anyway, Johnny, but I don't think you send anybody. No.
Yeah.
You don't have to do what he does. You don't have to speak to that level. So, and I'm sure someone will sooner or later anyway, but I'm just saying you don't have to speak to that.
Well, some people like to, they like to promote the drama. Go here and then go there, and then go here, then go there.
Right. Right. Johnny, let me run upstairs and grab my drink really quick. I'll be right back. 1 minute. Okay, hold on.
Okay. What's the deal with age? Oh, here, I got a pause. I got to do that one.
Yeah, you'll have to wait till Ty gets back because I have no clue about that stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, Johnny, you don't need to go over there. Jim can come over here and promote all he wants. Who cares? Are you in competition with the guy?
No.
Well, I wouldn't give a damn. Like I said, though, I can turn off the YouTube. I don't have Facebook. I don't do all that stuff because there's really nothing on there I could use. You know what I mean? The only reason I really use YouTube mainly was for entertainment and to learn about shit that I don't know how to do. If there's a part on my truck I don't know about, you can go to YouTube and find it, and somebody's covered it already. So
hey, listen to this one, bro. Listen to this one, King. You want to hear something funny?
What?
It says right there, JT is so worked up about Johnny and Ty. Unreal. He blocked me just for asking why.
Okay, Johnny, I'm back.
I don't know.
Okay, cool, Ty Corbin.
Tom Evans, I have no idea what kind of boots Dylan wore. I never met him.
His mom said Georgia boots. That's what Candace Cooley said anyway. He wore Georgias. I don't know what style, but I used to wear Georgias till they started making them in China or overseas somewhere. They turned to crap.
Hey, Ty Corbin. Hey, King, can you guys take over for a minute? I gotta go use the restroom.
Hey, Johnny.
Yeah, what?
Turn my camera back on. It seems like I'm froze for some reason on my side. It looks like it anyway.
No, your camera's working.
No, your camera's good. We can see
your camera's good. But can you guys take over for a minute? I gotta go to the bathroom.
You bet.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Hey, King, you gotta probably watch out for the chat room.
I gotta what?
Watch the chat if you can.
Watch the chat. Okay, I'll watch the chat. Got it. All right, buddy. But
thank you.
You're welcome, John. That's one thing I've learned about the YouTube, kind of paying attention to it the last 8 months, is a lot of people at the end of the day, it comes down to money, and more money. That's really what it comes down to for all these people. They can say one thing, but at the end of the day, 99% of these people are in it for the money. And I understand that from a business point. And I'm not going to lie, Jim and Mr. X, I'm going to say they're pretty damn good businessmen when it comes to business. You know what I mean? And what they're doing and learning it. I'm not going to hate on anybody for that purpose, but do I think it's kind of immature, the stuff that he's doing? Yeah, I think it's pretty immature, but
some of the things that I do is pretty immature, like on Starcasm. People go, oh, that's childish. I said, damn right it is.
Right. Well, and that's at the end of the day, you can either laugh or get angry. I don't get angry at none of it because it's at the end of the day, it's entertainment to me. At least some of it is. At the end of the
day, it's just YouTube.
Right. That's exactly right. It's social media. It's the internet. You can take it for what it is, and that's what I do.
On the Starcasm channel, we've had people threaten us with attorneys, all sorts of stuff. And you know what I tell them? Go ahead. Go ahead. And the only ones that I've spoofed and they're all fictional characters. All of our people are fictional characters. And if people think that it's them, that makes it that much funnier.
Well, and Ty,
And
you know, the
all
thing
I
is
can tell
with
them
people,
to do is take it with a grain of salt. You know, and there's some of them out there. Have I been mean to them on Stargasm? Yes. But were they mean to us over the summer and blame us? You know, I haven't called them murderers. So
right. You got called everything under the sun.
everything.
Everything, literally.
Oh,
that is true. You
that's
did.
why that's why, King, I tell Johnny, you got to get a thick skin. You got to get the armadillo armor. So just let it bounce off.
Well, and you pretty much got to. What else are you going to do? You know what I mean? You know, there's not much you can do. You know, and you can always meet up with people and even talk it out if they're willing to. But, you know, most people aren't going to do that. Well, and what I was going to say was that when it comes to lawsuits, a lot of these people don't have that type of money to push a lawsuit. It's not cheap to hire an attorney and start pushing a lawsuit. That shit's expensive.
We pretty much have a disclaimer that says all of our characters are fictional. If you think it's you, fuck you. That's what we
Hey,
said.
Ty Corbin, I got another question for you. It says, do this is a super sticker coming in at $4.99. Do anything about the money thing with the Troy $18K the police took and the $30K with Don?
I don't know about 30,000 with Don. I think Don was paid wages that were owed to him. With Troy, I tend to think that could have been Dylan Rounds' money myself. That's my personal opinion. I have no proof of that, but usually if Kurt says somebody owes him $5,000, it's usually he owes them 50. And that's my personal opinion. They said that the cops took that from him when he was arrested. I don't know if he filed a complaint against that or not, but I think that's very offensive to call the Highway Patrol in Utah dirty. They're one of the toughest outfits out there. They're good cops. They've been really fair. Have I been pulled over by the Highway Patrol? You bet I have. In Utah, you bet I have. And they've always been more than fair to me. And this is how I feel. If he had 18,000 plus in his truck when he got arrested, he should have declared it.
Well, why was he carrying 18 grand for? I don't understand that.
Good question.
That's not like somebody walks around with 18 grand in their pocket.
I don't care if somebody carries a large amount of cash. That's not against the law.
No.
But if you're getting arrested and you have a large amount of cash, you definitely should declare it. I wouldn't leave it for the tow truck driver to find. I would have declared it if I was being arrested and I had $20,000 and north of 18,000. Goddamn right, I'd tell him I've got money. So I want that taken in, you know, I'm getting that money back.
I don't understand. If he had 18 grand, how did the tow truck driver find it? He just left it in his car?
Evidently.
There's no way. Nobody's going to leave 18 grand in cash in your car.
The story I heard was that he had it hid in the truck. Didn't tell the cop. He probably thought they would never find it. And I don't know who found it or if it even existed. I don't know. I tend to think that if it did exist, that it was probably Dylan Rounds' money. That's just my personal opinion. I don't have any proof of that other than I've never seen with anything over about $2,000.
So are they saying that the Utah Highway Patrol there along I-80 didn't declare the money and just kept it?
That's what he's saying. He's saying that he never declared it when he was arrested. And then he's saying it was in there and that they took it. And I don't believe that at all.
No.
If he did have it and it was taken, I think he should point his finger at the tow truck driver, not the highway patrolman. And even then, who knows if that's the truth? I don't know what it is. Me personally, King, if you got pulled over and they were going to arrest you and you had a high amount of cash in your truck, wouldn't you declare it?
Hell yeah, that's the first thing. I'd make them count it out on camera right in front of me. Hell yeah, I'm not dumb. Absolutely. Because I'm not saying the Utah Highway Patrol along I-80 there is crooked. I wouldn't think that. I've been pulled over there. I've actually been searched along that highway before. I'm not going to lie. And I'll tell you this right now. Well, they were every one of them.
Go ahead.
I was going to say every one of those guys that were there when they searched the car, They were extremely professional. They weren't rude. The most of them were military dudes, actually. I think one out of the or two out of the three were ex-military, and it was a blonde guy, a brown-haired, I think he was Hispanic, and they were all cool. Honestly, they weren't crazy. They didn't seem like that type of cops. They seemed pretty straightforward, like by the book.
I know of at least one of the cops that patrols the Salt Flats to Knowles in that area is from Windover, and I think he lives on the Nevada side of the border, even though he's a Utah highway patrolman because the housing's so much better on that side. And there's no way, I know who the guy is, there's no way he would steal any money from anybody. He's very honest. And I think it's a slap in the face that he would even say that. That's how I would take it if I was the highway patrol.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I don't see that. And, I'm not very fond of the police. I'm not going to lie. I don't hate them. I don't like them. But, I don't see those cops doing that on that area. Because like I said, I've been pulled over on that I-80 on the Utah side. And they seem pretty straight by the book.
One of the most professional law outfits in the country, I believe, is Utah Highway Patrol.
Right. Well, and this is coming, like I said, my dad used to be a sheriff, and not in Utah, but he was a sheriff, and it was an undercover narcotics cop, and then he went to SWAT, and he did all that crazy shit when I was a young kid. He came straight from the islands and went right into the police force. So,
was he in Salt Lake?
No, he wasn't in Utah.
Oh, okay. Because King, there's a big Polynesian presence in Salt Lake City.
Oh yeah, massive. Well, and that's what I was gonna say is I've lived both lifestyles. I've lived the American lifestyle and the Islander Samoan lifestyle, both. When I got sent to live with my grandparents, I had to what they call Fa'a Samoa, which is like the Samoan way. It's the Samoan lifestyle. So I've lived both sides. You know what I mean? So I was lucky enough to live the American way and the Islander way and take from both of them. So, my family always comes first. And that's part of the whole thing I don't understand about the Dylan Round stuff is if it was one of my children, I don't care. I would be out there every day, man. I'm not going to lie. I don't give a shit if there's 4 feet of snow. I understand that there's not much you can do, but even just, I don't know, trying anything and everything, I guess.
Yeah. King, I can guarantee you that Justin Round has been out there a lot more than people know searching for his boy. I know that for a fact. I've seen him before.
I believe that. I think that Justin, the dad, he seems more like he's less about the bullshit and more about just finding his son.
My opinion is he's a really good man. From the short time that I've known him, my opinion is he's a very good man. And I don't believe the shit that's been said about him on other channels and stuff. And I've never participated in thinking that was the truth. So,
and just let me set the record straight, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know nothing about the Dylan Rounds case, and it was an honor to have this man, Ty Corbin, come up here and give us answers of what his best of his knowledge was. And I really appreciate you doing that, Ty Corbin, tonight, because some of the fans were like, here's another question right here. Ty Corbin, do you have any information about Kevin Bivens?
Kevin Bivens, you guys, has lived out in his sin for a long time. And I'm going to say this. He's a fucking nutcase, plain and simple. And if it was proven that he was involved in this, that wouldn't shock me a bit. One time I saw him about 20 years ago when the food bank was right next to the Cowboy, walking down the 233 completely naked. His hair was down to the middle of his back then. And sometime later in that year, authorities arrested him for something, and they took him to Arizona to go to jail for something. I don't know what it was. But Bivens he's a strange one. He's very strange. And I think, I could be mistaken about this, but I don't think so. I think that Brenner had assaulted him, I think. And that might be some of the charges he's facing.
And Ty, Grateful Nomad told me to tell you. Hold on, let me see where her message. Let me go back to her message real quick. She said, "It's nice to have Ty Corbin on the panel in general." She's telling you.
Thank you.
Ty Corbin says, "Thank you, Grateful Nomad."
I've seen her in chat since the beginning of this, so thank you.
Well, and that's what brought a lot of us together, even in this chat room, was the whole Dylan Rounds case. Like I said, I didn't even know any of this shit part of YouTube existed. I was always, following cars and trucks and shit, whistling diesel, stuff like that. I was never into crime, true crime.
Yeah.
I watched the first 48 a few times, but other than that, I never was into it. Heavy D and the Diesel Brothers, I'm big into diesel trucks. So that's really what got me started on the whole Dylan Rounds thing. And I kind of just hit that rabbit hole from there. So there's a lot of people in the chat room who have been around that whole time.
Yeah, Fast Eddie said, Johnny Yarbrough, thank you for allowing us to discuss the Dylan Rounds case. We need to keep talking so the case doesn't go cold.
I agree. And you guys, that was one of the things that I have to say Jim Terry did, is he kept it from going cold. He kept it exciting. He kept the drama going where people would know what it is. And I think he was responsible for a lot of people knowing about Dylan Rounds. Do I agree with the way he's done a lot of it? No. But the bottom line is the bottom line.
Right.
Hey, Ty Corbin, I heard there were 3 people that searched it for Dylan to start with.
3?
3, and hold on. Let me go back down here. And it said, was it Don Brenner and who else?
I believe it was Brenner, Hatley, and I think, what's his name, Bivens. And where and how they searched for him, that I have no idea. You would have to ask them.
Ty, where does Bivens live at compared to where Dylan's farm was?
I think on Little Pigeon Road somewhere.
Okay. Did he?
The last,
do you know if Bivens knew?
When I knew of him in Lucin, he was actually living in that dugout that was near the pond. And he had a little electric golf cart that he used to run around. I have no idea. I have not seen him since he was arrested and taken to Arizona. And that's been quite some time ago, but he's been back for quite some time. I've just never seen him since he's been back.
Was he
not
friends
somebody,
with the Wadsworths?
Not somebody I want to be around, really.
Was he friends with the Wadsworths or no? Or do you know?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Okay.
Not to my knowledge, King.
Okay. Well, and that's the thing is, Ty, that place is so small, and it's not like there's a ton of people that live there. I'm sure word travels fast about everything, I would imagine, right?
Yeah, if Weezer's, I don't know if Weezer's in chat, but Weezer knows of Bivens, and ask her opinion. I don't know if she's in chat because I can't see it, but if she is, ask her opinion.
What's her name?
Weezer.
Leisure?
Was that Bivens guy crazy from like the drug stuff, or was he just crazy?
I just think he's got a bolt. Yeah, he's got a nut with some guys. Definitely got some mental issues there. I would be interested to find out why he was arrested and extradited back to Arizona.
Huh. Yeah, I don't know.
I'm sure somebody could pull that up. I don't think it was for. It's not a good thing. That's what I was told.
So is there a lot of snowbirds that live in that area? A lot of people snowbirded there in the summer and leave for the winter?
I think a lot of people come in during the summer and leave when it gets cold, yes. But I don't know if you'd actually call them snowbirds, more failures.
Got you.
People that just couldn't make it once it got cold.
Right.
There are a few that come and go during the summer, especially people that fish out at Crittenden. Some of them do that, but for the most part, the people that leave during the winter are people that just can't make it out there.
Yeah, let me quarterback this real quick. Everybody that's new coming in here in the chat room tonight, we're just going over we're going over Ty Corbin's questions about the Dylan Rounds case, and my phone's been blown up like crazy. And
your phone's been blowing up like crazy.
Yeah, I like it for the talk. Vivian is the one Brenner beat up with the chair and has got assault charges against Brenner. I think they're going to charge Brenner with assault, and they're not going to charge him with a Dylan yet. I don't think.
Which is okay with me. I believe they will eventually if they don't Monday.
Yeah.
Right. Well, and he what? Right now, what's his only charge? Felon in possession of a firearm?
Firearms and I think assault. And I've been told a rape charge pending in Maryland. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. Maryland or Pennsylvania.
Oh, from previous. You know what's weird, Ty, is, and I'm not going to bag on the mom, Candace, or anything, but what was really odd to me is how she keeps downplaying that she doesn't know Brenner very well, but it's been proven that she's known him. She lived in the trail. He lived in that trailer behind her place or wherever it was on the property during spud season. I just think it's kind of odd that she's downplaying him so much, like, oh, he's just some guy out there, we don't know anything about him type of thing. Why do you think that is?
I think she knows him a lot more than she says she knows him, because Justin had told me that they knew him, that he'd actually worked for them before driving truck.
Right.
So,
well,
yeah, but I still don't think you guys, I still don't think that Candace is involved in this whatsoever. I really don't.
Right.
And the
I don't
people
think
that do,
either.
the people from other channels that have pointed their finger at her, including Doug, and I have no idea why she would ever go on his channel after some of the shit that he was doing. And Doug told her, oh, I was just misinformed. And that's not the case at all. I had a personal talk with him on the phone during the day where I asked him to stop doing that. That night on his channel,
I watched
that night on his channel, yeah, right back to doing it.
And I watched those with Doug, and you every single time would say the same thing. I'm not going to badmouth the mother or the father. You said it I followed Doug's back in when it happened in June and I think July before I stopped watching. And you said the same thing every time. I'm not going to badmouth the mom or the dad. And you really never have ever.
No, the only problem I've had with Candace is to tell people to quit searching. That stuck in my craw, you guys, like you wouldn't believe. And her saying that the mines had all been searched when I know they hadn't. So other than that, I don't have any problems with her. I didn't like that. One thing I didn't like is she said, well, Brenner wouldn't crawl down one of those vertical shafts, the ones that go down. And of course he wouldn't, but he would throw Dylan's remains down there and then throw rocks and dirt and everything else he could on top of it. Mm-hmm. So the reason people were going down is to go down to the bottom of a vertical and dig to make sure he's not there, Candace. Not because we thought Brenner would ever go down there, but we did think that he would throw your son down there and then throw rocks and gravel on top of him to cover it up. And that's the reason we go down the verticals to look.
That makes sense. Well, and you know, that whole wash area as well, Ty, that thing is people don't realize how big those washes get out in the desert. And that one over you guys are, that thing is massive. And I would imagine how easy it would be to slap a big clump of that dirt off. And, you know, I don't know how many tons of dirt it would be, but I would imagine it wouldn't be too hard to slump a massive piece of that wash out, right?
If he's in there, if he's in that wash and they run cadaver dogs in there, they'll find him. I talked to Heavy D about that, and he personally told me that he has seen cadaver dogs lock onto a body from a mile away that was 6 foot under. And to me, that's amazing. So I think if he's in that wash and they run cadaver dogs in there really good this spring, I think they'll find him if he's in there. My personal opinion is I think he's somewhere around Pigeon Mountain. That's my personal opinion, because I've stood there at the railroad tracks, like looking at the grain shed, what you guys call the grain shed, and thought to myself, if I murdered somebody, where would I do? What would I do? And what comes to my mind is I want to go where nobody will see me. I need to stay on a hard surface because of how it is out there. And the most logical place to me is around Pigeon Mountain or out the rail grade or right along the bottom of Bald Eagle Mountain, like in the Governor Springs area and that. And I have a personal opinions for thinking that way. I know the layout of the land out there. I've worked on a ranch that was right across the tracks from the grain shed. At one time, it's been, 8 years ago, I cleared a lot of the property out there for Ed Harshberger and never got paid. And I'm telling you that you can't just drive out there when it's raining. You'll get stuck. And the only exception to that is that you stay on hard surfaces.
Is that whole area, because I've never been to Lucin area, but I've been to the Wells area. Is it all that same like bentonite clay or whatever the hell it's called?
It's it's a really alkali clay. And you guys, the wash, here's some things you need to know. A mile from the grain shed to the west, there's the railroad tracks, and there's a crossing where the railroad tracks go over the wash. And there's 3 pipes there that a car won't fit through. There's boulders, there's fences. And when everyone says, oh, west of the wash, well, in order to get into that wash again, you have to go all the way out to the highway, which means the 233, take the risk of being seen, and then drive back into it. And to me, people with brains in their mind don't go into washes when the weather's rainy like that. You get stuck for starters, and then you take the chance of a flash flood getting you. Now that's not going to happen in that wash anytime soon, ever again. Maybe this spring because of all the snow. But people need to know that you just can't drive in that wash and go anywhere you want. There's obstacles. There's 2 railroad crossings that are a mile from each other. The highway's in the way. There's places that a pickup just won't go. It'll get stuck. Now, do we know that a pickup was used? I'm not 100% certain, but I'm pretty sure that he used Dylan's pickup truck. And I just don't think, my personal opinion is he's not in that wash. And I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. I'm not going to say I haven't. My personal opinion is he's on that rail grade somewhere around Baldy Mountain somewhere or around Pigeon Mountain somewhere. Not necessarily up, but around the base. And to my knowledge, those areas have never been walked by a large group of people. And I think they need to be. I've always felt that way. And even the rail grade, you guys, even though Lance and I walked the hell out of it, we're not professional searchers. He could still be on that rail grade and we could have just missed him for all I know. It's not like we had a dog. My Harper came with us, but she's not a cadaver dog. Well, she'd go rolling dead things all the time. But just because we walked it, we're not professionals. Lance may claim to be, but he's not.
Right.
So those areas, I think the professionals need to come, and that means EquiSearch. They're the professionals. Can I show them where I think he might be because I know the area out there? Yes. But does that mean he's there? Not necessarily. Doesn't mean we quit looking, you guys. I think my personal opinion is the chances of finding him are next to 0, but that doesn't mean we quit looking.
True.
And, yeah. My son just said he thinks that he was fed to Kurt's pigs and then fed to the town.
What do you think? What do you think the hole was dug in the pole barn for?
I think that there was DNA evidence there, whether it be blood, human matter. I don't know what it was, but I know who dug the hole there.
Who?
The FBI.
Oh, really?
Yes. I was told personally by the FBI that they put that hole in there. They didn't tell me why, but he told me he was the one that did it. And so I don't know if it was him personally or whether he had a forensic team do it. I don't know. I wasn't there when it happened, but
Ty, what do you say to the people that
told me that he was the one that did it? Go ahead.
What do you say to the people who said that the way that farm looked, the way that pole barn was with all the shit in it, that the truck wouldn't have fit in there? Because I know a lot of people are saying that there was stuff all over in there that truck wouldn't even have been to go under there to hide the seed from the rain.
Well, it was in there. It was in there when the parents got there, right?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't remember.
Yeah. From what I understand, that it fit in there most of the way, that maybe the cab stuck out a little bit and that he covered it, is what I
Yeah, I
was
guess
told.
all you need was to cover the bed, huh? That's
I
really
do know
all that.
this much. If he had been backing the truck in there, the hole that was dug, if he was backing the truck in, would have been on the driver's side towards the back. The hole that was dug in the barn or in the grain shed by the FBI, if he backed it in there, it would have been on the driver's side. So it was to the back right side from what I saw in the video that certain creators walked in there and did.
Yeah, it would have
So-
been the back driver's side. Yep, you're right.
Oh,
It would have
that was another thing. That was another thing, King, that I wanted to say. If you watch Stalty's video, they went, "Oh, that must be where the phone was found." And then just a little while later said, "Oh, the phone came out of the pond." So why the big difference? That was another thing that made me say,
Right. Yeah. I don't know. That whole thing is weird. It really is. I think it might just be that he really did. He did some to him, and I've heard people say that Kurt fed him to the pigs or the Wadsworth did, and I don't know. Maybe they did. I have no clue. But
I don't have any proof of that either. It's just something my
Right.
son says. He says that would be just like Kurt. My son that lives here in Salt Lake knows Kurt.
got you. Oh, so you're do all your kids know the Wadsworths because you've been out there so long, or no? Or most
All
of
but
them?
one. Yeah, all but one.
Got you.
I'll put it this way. I've heard people badmouth the parents for letting Dylan be out there. I raised my kids out there. They just knew who the Sharks were.
Right.
And I think that Dylan didn't know who the Sharks were, and this is what happened.
Well, and I could be wrong, but from what I've outside looking in, what it looks like to me is some of these guys leashed onto Dylan because he had work and he had money, and with it being so scarce out there in the middle of nowhere, they saw him as more or less an income. I could be wrong, but that's what I would think.
It's called a mark.
Right. That's exactly
In
what it was.
Nevada, that's called a mark.
Anybody
Right.
who calls in that town is a fucking mark.
Hear that?
Everyone fucking, ooh, who's the new people?
See?
Let's go befriend them so that we can fuck them over too.
See?
Right.
Everything that I told you guys months ago, my son just, anytime someone new comes into town, that's what they do.
Right.
Oh, let's see what, and mainly Kurt. He sits at the bar like a vulture, waiting for new money. That's what he does.
Yeah, I could see that. Well, and there's people like that in a lot of different.
And anybody that thinks the statements Kurt has made about where Dylan kept his money, oh, he knew exactly where the checks were. He knew where everything was at.
Well,
Kurt keeps track of that money.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. He did. He knew he did know where everything was. You're right.
He did. He said exactly where Dylan was keeping that check, something like in his door or something like that, and the door does pickup truck. Which means,
and that's
Kurt
that's
keeps track of the money.
how would he you know what I mean? Why would you at the time, unless you weren't keeping an eye on it, why would you even remember something like that small of a detail? Unless you were keeping an eye on the money, you know what I mean?
Kurt keeps his eye on the money. Trust me. Trust me
Right.
when I say that. Yeah.
Well, and like your son just said, Dylan was a mark. That makes absolute sense.
Unfortunately, and
Right.
I will say this: if people in the bar knew that he came across money like that, everyone knew. That's how fast that would spread. So,
Yeah.
like a bunch of vultures. That's all I can say.
How did Salty get involved?
So, early July, I get a call from Jim. He said there's a guy that wants to come out from Salt Lake. His name is Michael, and he wants to do a story on the good things of Montello. So I said, like the food bank, the church, the Pearsons that have lived there longer than anybody, that kind of stuff. And Jim said, yeah. So he tells me to meet him at the store. Salty shows up, and I explained to him about the food bank, about the church, about the Pearsons, about the vets that are buried from World War I in the graveyard that died from the flu back then. And I tell him the bar is right down there. And he looks down there, and I said, Kurt's probably in there. And he beelined it, went straight to the bar. And I think he already knew. He came back about an hour and a half later, drunk, with his wife driving and him walking. And then I look back, and there's this guy with this weird long sleeve shirt on and a baseball hat. And Kurt usually doesn't wear a hat like that, a baseball hat. And he's doing this little zigzag walk, and he shows up right behind Salty and starts with his shit. And blah, blah, blah. And I said, well, Kurt, if you want to. Salty grabbed him. There was no fight. There was never any fight like that, just an argument. Salty grabbed him, and they walked off together. So I know that they knew each other. Otherwise, why would a Salty have grabbed him and walked off? I wouldn't grab somebody I didn't know. Unless I absolutely had to.
Right.
So that was how I met Salty. And had I known then what I know now, I would have just beat both their asses right there in front of the store. If I would have known then what I know that Salty did now, I would have just beat him and Kurt's ass right in front of the store. And I wouldn't have cared because I know the sheriffs would have taken them 2 or 3 hours to show up. And I would have been long gone.
Well, and you know, this is the thing about Salty, you know, because I actually started following him when he first started. I think he maybe had 70 followers. Not hardly. It was way back when he first started showing up, long before the whole salt shaker stuff and all that bullshit.
He showed up about July 1st.
Well, I think at the time he had like a guy doing the dab move on his channel, so he didn't have very many people. But I think he was using his phone or doing an interview with Kurt the very first times he was doing it. And, you know, before that, though, before he had even released any of those things, he said, I'm going to keep my channel. I'm not going to make money on it. I'm not about the money. I'm going to let people say whatever they want to say, right? And I thought, well, fuck, about time people do that anyway. So
he's keeping the money. What a liar.
Well, the problem with that whole theory is that lady, you know, the one with the annoying voice, that Jim and her had a big beef. What the hell is her name?
Bella Beef.
You know, the blonde chick. She's super annoying voice. I don't remember her name though. Maybe people in the chat remember her name. But she pulled up a bunch of messages from Salty when he was trying to sell the interviews, and it showed him on there trying to sell. I can't remember how much. It was like $1,500 for interviews. She had showed people. Yeah, well, he did interviews with him and was trying to sell it. And I think he ended up releasing it on the Tyler Olstein or Tyler Feller's channel. One of those channels ended up, I don't know if they paid him for it or not, but I remember that lady say, oh yeah, there you go, Perplex QT. That lady.
Oh, okay.
She showed the messages from him saying that he wanted this amount of money for the interviews. I don't know if people remember. Oh, this was months and months. This was probably in July.
I remember that.
But you remember that? So, you know, when I saw that stuff, I'm like, well, it's all about the money. Just like a lot of people, it's just about money.
It still is about the money. I don't see him giving it away anymore, huh? He tries to act like he does. Oh, blah, blah. Here's the thing. He is, how can I say this? Salty puts the con in convict. That's all I'm going to say. And I don't have anything against somebody that's been to prison. They went in, spent their time, come out and try to lead a good life. There's nothing wrong with that. It's evident to me that Salty didn't learn anything in prison. Look at how he treats people now. There's not a doubt in my mind he beats women. Not a doubt in my mind about that.
I see in the chat room that all the super chats tonight are going to charity. They're going to Midwest Equisearch for Dylan Round's case. They're not going to Johnny. He already said that.
Yes. That was one of the agreements I made with Johnny before I'd come on the channel, and he agreed to it right away. He's not paying me or anything to come on this. But he agreed to send the money to Equitech, and I think that's a good thing to do, Johnny. I really respect you for that. You're a good man.
No problem. And I was just hoping I would have gotten them, and I would have gotten those super chat. There's some people, I understand there's some people that couldn't have Cash App me because they don't have Cash App. That's why we got the super stickers. But I will. Like I said, I got it right here. I got it right here. I got the total. I got the total right here. I got the total right here for $4.99. I mean 99 and $4.99, $3, $10, 25 and 20. I got it right here, and whatever the money is, I'll go ahead and take care of it. You know what I mean?
Right.
On my end, and then it'll be knocked out of the way.
It's going for a good purpose, Johnny.
See, Ty Corbin, see, I got all the figures written down right here, right now.
Good man, Johnny.
And
Well,
I'm not gonna, because I can't wait. I'm not gonna wait until YouTube pays me. I'm just gonna wait till I get paid, and then send it that way.
Okay.
And send it that way, or if you got, or if you have Cash App, I can send it to you, Ty, and you could take care of it.
I don't have anything like that.
Okay.
So we'll get their address and you can send it to them.
So do I just get them a cashier's check or a money order or something like that?
Yeah, that's what I would say, a money order, and mail it to them.
Okay. Yeah. I don't have their address or nothing like that.
I know somebody that talks to Twyla quite a bit, and I'll reach out to her and see what she does. So
yes, I'm totally. Yeah. Hey, Johnny, are you totally trustworthy? I'm totally trustworthy. You can ask King. You can ask Ty Corbin. I don't never give out nobody's information out or none of that stuff. I am real. And knowing that PZ knows I'm trustworthy, I am totally 100% trustworthy. I do not lie. And as soon as I can get the money order, I'll get the receipt for the money order, and I will show you that I get an envelope, and I will show you guys. I think what I'm gonna do a show like that where I get the money order and I'm gonna put the address on the thing, and I'm gonna send it to them. Do a live show about that.
What I'll do, Johnny, when we end the show tonight, I will call DP. DP has a pretty good relationship with Twyla, and I will ask her to contact Twyla and get an address or a mailing box or whatever to send that to, and I'll get back with you on that.
Okay,
DP,
cool.
You guys, she has been very helpful in this all along. She's been great. And if you're in the chat, DP, thank you for everything you've done. And same with Arizona. Thank you for everything you've done too, buddy.
That's right.
DP is cool.
And you guys, there's been a lot of people that I know I missed. There's a lady named LT out there, and I don't know if anyone sees her in chat, but if anyone does, would you thank her and ask her to try and get a hold of me? That I want to thank her for the knitted stuff that she sent Phyllis. And there's been some people, Johnny, that I've had to apologize to, because there's other people out there that go into chat disguising themselves as that person. And then I get mad about some of the things they say. And when I see that person the next time, they have no idea what was even done. And it's somebody using their accounts. And there's been a lot of that going on.
Right.
People calling themselves one person and they're not that.
Right.
And yeah, I made the mistake of doing that, of bitching somebody out about that. And I was totally wrong. And I apologized to her. So that was what was happening, is there's been other creators going into other people's chat acting like they're a different person and going in there under that person and then saying really rude things just to stir up the shit.
Trofer coming in with a $9.99 super chat. Thank you so much, Trofer, for that $9.99. Thank you for the super sticker. Thank you so much.
Hey, Ty Corbin, Tom Evan wants to know, are there any names that haven't been mentioned in the Dylan Rounds case that you can think of?
Let me think.
Okay, hold on, guys.
No. And the ones that haven't been mentioned, King, were probably people that did good things. Like there was some people off the Gamble Ranch that did good things, helping like drain the pond and stuff like that. That they were good people, and they'd actually hired Dylan over in the Independence Valley area to do custom work. And they haven't been mentioned, and I'm not going to mention their names because I think they're good people, and I don't want people to go after them on the internet. They're really good people. And the same thing with a lot of those ranchers south of Wells that were looking for Aiden Clune, and they were said bad things about them, and I'm not going to do that. Most of the ranchers in this area are some of the best Americans.
Ty, DP is it DP is in the chat room. He told me to tell you. He says, "Hey Johnny, I love you, man. Hi Ty Corbin. Hi." He says, "Hi Ty, my brother. You know I love you too."
She.
Oh, she. Okay.
Yeah. Very good person, you guys. I met her personally when Phyllis and I took off to Arizona. We stopped and we met DP and we had dinner, and she's a very nice lady and very knowledgeable about YouTube. I should have listened to her about a lot of shit that I didn't.
Yeah, so. I'm willing to learn some more shit about YouTube too if she wants to teach me. Will it be? Yes, you can go ahead and send me the website so I can just use my debit card, so I can use my debit card and send it right to them as soon as I get paid, and that would be any day now. Okay. According to the narrative, Kurt was the only one claiming to see Dylan on Friday. Wait, let me get this more up. Hold on. Oh no, where it went. Oh no, where it went. Oh no, where it went. It went somewhere.
That door needs some grease.
There he goes. There he goes. Cleaning the truck. Salty then got to town to verify, even though she didn't see him.
I don't know what the truth is about Friday, you guys. That was part of the reason when Jim had Kurt and who was it that it was Kurt and the night that Jim had Kurt on his channel, I asked him about what happened Friday and where he was Friday and Saturday, and he wouldn't answer. And that doesn't mean he's guilty. He just wouldn't answer. He was in the bar with Ellen, and they were both really drunk, and he just wouldn't answer.
Hey, Ty Corbin, your DP wants me to give you my contact info to you.
Okay.
You're more than welcome to give it to her.
Okay, I'll do that after the show's over, Johnny.
Okay, no problem.
Okay.
Okay, okay, I'm trying to find more questions for you. I think my phone's still going off like crazy. Okay, here we go. It says, great show, Johnny. I hope you are okay. I'm okay. Thank you, Phantom. I'm okay. Any more questions anybody's got for Mr. I'm out of here. Bedtime here. I love you, Johnny Nance, Glass Guarding. It's the truth and good luck. Rock stars. They said rock stars to everybody. And we got another 15 minutes. We got another 15 minutes, and we're gonna wrap it up here. We're gonna wrap it up because I know you're hurting, Ty Corbin, and I got to go run an errand tonight, and I got to go get my PZ's gonna go get a new computer, and I got to ride with him so nothing will happen to him. Make sure everything he's safe tonight, and.
The local anesthesia is starting to wear off, and it's starting to pound a little bit, but that's why I keep drinking the
oh, yeah, the anesthesia is starting to wear off?
Yeah, with the spoon, and I've taken pain medication, you guys, so if I seem a little bit off or I'm not talking right, I feel like I'm not talking right, but it's just taking...
This guy's McKevin says Dylan supposedly left a debit card at the Battle Tour bar. Since the bar was closed, why did you Paul? Debit card? Was he paying Kurt for services rendered? What was the amount? Do you know any about that?
Not a clue, you guys. Not a clue. That would be a question for Kurt.
Right. And then Tom Evans asked, Ty Corbin, Candace is pushing the narrative that Dylan was moved Sunday. What do you think? I've never heard her say that, but
I don't know, you guys. I don't know. All I can do is look at the area, and I certainly hope that Brenner did this by himself, and I'll tell you why. The way he disposed of the phone and the way he did things just seems like he did it really lazily. And I tend to think that Dylan's close and we're just missing him somehow. I really think that when the snow clears, I want to go to the gravel occurrence on the way to Pigeon Mountain, and I want to pull back a bunch of the sagebrush there and dig in spots that look, like they've been disturbed or sunken or raised up. I want to go around Pigeon Mountain and I want to search that area really hard with a lot of people, not just by myself, with a lot of people. I've been on Pigeon Mountain one time, and it was with Christopher Lloyd, and we took his Toyota up there, and we walked around in the upper areas and covered maybe 1% of the mountain, 2 of us, and we walked all day until it got so hot we couldn't do it anymore. And I thank you, Christopher Lloyd, for all of your help. You're another guy that's been great. And you know, you guys, a lot of bad things were said about Christopher Lloyd. Salty pointed his finger at him the day the FBI showed up and said that the FBI was searching his property, when his property is nowhere near Brenner's, and I'm not going to tell people where it's at, but it's nowhere near Brenner's. And he kind of like me, ate a mile of shit for a long time over that. And Salty did that on purpose. He did that on purpose, pointed his finger at a man that's a veteran, a combat veteran, aircraft mechanic, worked as an aircraft mechanic in battle zones for an F-16. And Salty had the gall to point his finger at that man and call him a suspect in a murder case. Shame on you. Shame on you, Salty.
Okay, Fast Eddie's asking a question, Ty Corbin. Would you be willing to drop all your issues with Kurt so you guys can work together to find Dylan? The two of you have the most knowledge out of anyone. Hold on.
At this point, Johnny, no.
Anyone covering the case?
Yeah, at this point, no. And
no, at this point, no.
For the reasons, you guys, that I told you earlier why I suspect him, no.
Well, and haven't you guys have already tried to do that a few times, haven't you? From different people?
I never have. Different people have asked that, but it's not going to happen. Right. And the same thing with Lance, you guys, that's not going to happen again. And I can tell you what.
You know the crazy thing, Ty, is when Kurt said, you know, that you guys were idiots or whatever for looking up in those mines, and that he's the only one who knows where Dylan is, and he's the only one who can know where to find him. That whole thing right there still bugs me to this day. Like, why would you say that? It just doesn't make sense to say that. You know what I mean?
You and me both, brother. That bothers the hell out of me too. So to say that, then where is he? If he's not up there, Kurt, then where the hell is he?
Two more questions for you, Ty Corbin. Nance wants to know: is it true Banner walked out with bags from Dylan's place?
He walked out with trash bags from the grain shed, and where they went, I have no idea. He was with Don Hatley, and I don't know where they went. I have no idea where they went that day. Me, if I saw that and I was the parents, personally, I would have wrecked into his truck. I would have taken my vehicle, sacrificed the insurance, even if I had to go to jail for a day for wrecking on purpose. And that way, they wouldn't have gone anywhere, and that shit would have gotten searched with good reason because it was involved in an accident. And for all we know, you guys, the cops may have collected every bit of that trash for all we know.
Well, and you know, Ty, I've heard the narrative that saying that you have been blaming Brenner this whole time, and that's not true, because before you thought damn sure that Chase Venstra was involved when he did it.
Especially when I saw the phone. Yep.
Right. And I heard you say that for the first month or two or whatever until you were proved wrong, and you said you would apologize to the man.
And I did.
Right. But a lot of people are saying that you've been blaming Brenner this whole time, and that's not true. You were blaming Venstra this whole time until you found out otherwise.
Hey, Ty Corbin, did you see Dylan's trailer? And if so, did it look ransacked?
I've never been in his trailer. I've only seen pictures, you guys. I've never stepped on that property. The last time I was anywhere near that property, it wasn't owned by Dylan. It was owned by Ed Harshberger. And I was out there with a big FMC tractor and a roller behind me clearing the property, clearing the sagebrush off the property.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So I never saw that trailer. The only pictures I've seen is the pictures that Jim showed from the basketball coach or football coach or whatever he was.
Hey, Ty Corbin, in your opinion, why do you think Kurt's daughters came onto YouTube and started defending everything?
Hi, Original Rose. Hi, Original Irish Rose. How are you? Original Irish Rose was here. Everybody.
Good to see you.
Rose.
Why do you
and
think?
Ask her to call me when we're done with this, I want to talk to her.
Why do you think Taylina and the other daughter were on there if they had no idea about, other than meeting Dylan, I guess they said? Why do you think they were on there talking about their dad so much to all these YouTube people?
Damage control for Kurt running his mouth.
You think that's all it was from him talking while he was drunk?
Yes. And I think if there's other family involvement, you guys, the Thursday before Dylan supposedly went missing, there was a fight at the Cowboy Bar and a discharge of a firearm. And I talked to several people that have talked to Kurt, several people that have talked to Taylina, several people that have talked to Troy about this, and none of their stories match. That's one thing that's bothered me, is none of their stories matched about the shooting. So for a while there, you guys, I was under the impression because Kurt lied about where Dylan was living, that Dylan possibly could have been killed by an accidental discharge because those guys were running around the desert trying to find Chase, trying to find Robert, trying to find the Lee boys and anybody else that they thought was ripping stuff off out there. And I'm okay with people patrolling. I'm not okay with them doing it drunk with guns. If they want to pack guns with them, we had a neighborhood watch system there at one time where the ex-police chief from Wendover lives in Montello, and he used to go around and patrol at night armed. And I trusted him. He's an ex-law enforcement officer, and he knows how to handle a firearm. But the guys that were drunk around doing that, there was only one of them I trusted doing that, and that was Sean. That was Sean, and I'm not going to say his last name, but I trusted Sean doing that because I know he knows how to handle firearms. And I know he's better than going around so smashed with a firearm that he would end up hurting someone. And I know he wouldn't do that. So he was one of the only people that I agreed without doing that. But that thing that they called the militia, it wasn't a militia, it was neighborhood watch. Did they have a reason to be driving around looking for people ripping off? Yes. Was it right or wrong? Not my call. It's just not something I'm going to do.
So Ty Corbin, is it true that there was one of the guys that lives out there was one of the OG members of the Sundowners MC Club or the MC group? Because I heard that rumor forever ago.
Yeah, I'm not going to comment on that because.
All right, fair enough.
I'm not going to sell out. Yeah, I'm not going to sell out any bikers. I know the whole story with that King, and the story involves Chase and guns that he ripped off, and they're guns that he's going to probably get prosecuted for. But that was who he took them from. The person in question had a video, saw it was Chase, and went looking for him, chased him down, found him, and got his guns back, and then turned him in. That's the story I heard.
Makes sense.
Whether he was a Sundowner or Hell's Angel or nothing like that, I'm not going to disclose that. I don't know.
Fair enough.
Hey, Ty, do you know if any blood has been found?
Not for sure, Johnny, but I imagine that the hole that was sucked out in the grain shed, I was told that's done with a vacuum type machine. Whether that's true or not, I don't know, but I think that the hole in the grain shed probably had something to do with either blood or human matter or something to that effect. Yes. I don't know that for a fact. I'm just guessing.
Right. Do you think Dylan will ever be found?
I pray so, Johnny. Is the likelihood of it very high? Unfortunately, no. And it hurts. I can say that hurts, Johnny, because I put in a lot of time looking for him. I've come in out of the desert hot with headaches before, frustrated, mad. And I can only hope that Brenner buried him and that he'll come clean sometime so the family will have some sort of remains to bury. And I really hope that that's the case. I hope that Brenner buried him deep enough to where there wouldn't be any predatory action. And I think that if he just took him out naked and dropped him somewhere, I think that the likelihood of finding him is very, very small. Somebody said a hunter or somebody would stumble across it. Yes, I think that that's probably the case if it happens. I think we'll be very lucky if we find him. It doesn't mean quit looking. Don't get me wrong. It doesn't mean quit looking. It just means that the likelihood is very small, Johnny.
Do you think? Do you think Brenner will ever admit to the crime? I don't. Do you personally think Brenner
I
will ever
think
admit to
that
anything?
I think that if they get enough evidence to give him the death penalty, he'll talk sooner or later. That's what I think. If the death penalty is put on the table.
Right.
And to negotiate around that, maybe he would. I feel that way. And I do feel, unlike a lot of people that have been bad-mouthing the Box Elder County Sheriffs and the Elko County Sheriffs, I believe that they have a lot more evidence than they're saying. And I believe they probably do have enough evidence to charge him. And we'll see where it goes.
Tom Evan wants to know, could Ed be involved in any manner, do you think?
Yes, I do think he could be. Doesn't mean he is, but you guys, Ed Harshberger developed all that land out there. He borrowed a lot of money from a lot of people to do it. And when Dylan came in, his grandfather had the money in the backing. And I heard Kurt say that Dylan wanted to put pivots all through that valley. And that is exactly what Harshberger wanted to do. At first, he wanted to dry farm barley, which he found out wouldn't work. And I told him he would never do that out there. He goes, well, I did it in the garage. I said, the garage isn't exposed to sun all the time. The garage is in 110 with the wind blowing.
Right.
I said, it'll grow till June, then it'll fall over like June grass and die. And that's exactly what happened. But he developed a lot of that property out there. And then here comes Dylan with his grandfather's money and is going to do exactly what he didn't have the money to finish doing. Would he be pissed off? Yeah, I think that Harshberger is one of those assholes that would be very jealous and mad over that. And I do believe he was jealous and mad over that. That's my personal opinion. I know the man. I don't like him. And he makes Kurt look like an amateur.
Do you think the reason Dylan went to that area versus, say, somewhere like Jordan Valley, you know, in Oregon, you know, it's still high desert, not quite as hot and all that. Do you think the reason he went to that area is because of the family ties that he had? Like his parents or grandparents had friends that were out there or other farmers that they were worked with?
Yeah. Ed Harshberger was the family friend that led them to Dylan being out there. And probably between him and Kurt is what led to James Brenner being out at the grain shed. Kurt didn't want him at his place anymore because of the shit that was happening. I think he called Ed and said, hey, can we put him out there to watch the stuff? And in a roundabout way, that's what led to this happening to Dylan, is their shady dealings that they do out there. And I do believe that, it's my personal opinion, that Harshberger did Dylan a shady deal selling him that land with the water that was brash like that, with the salt content in the water out there.
Man, I bet they had to spend so much money to try and desalinate that water if it really was that bad.
No, I think what was going on, and I could be wrong about this, I don't know because I never saw the operation, but I think that Dylan would pump the water out of the ground into the pond, add some solution to it that made the salt drop, the salt content of the water, then pump it out of the pond through the overhead watering system, which is called a pivot, onto the crop.
That makes sense, actually, why he'd have that pond, because that salt would settle, and then he could just skim the top water off and not have to desalinate or spend a bunch
using a desalinization agent in the pond that doesn't affect the crop. That could very well have been what he was doing, yeah. And
because I've always wondered that. I wondered what he was using for that, so that would make sense.
Yeah, for Dylan to figure that out, to me, that's pretty awesome, because
that's pretty damn smart. I agree.
Yeah, I have seen triticale grown right across the tracks from the grain shed, chest high. And the water on that farm was fairly good. It had a little bit of a salt content to it, but nothing like when you go out east further. And that's where Dylan's farm was east of the grain shed. The further you go to the east, the more brash the water becomes, and brash means a saline content.
Right. Huh. Well, that's smart of him to do that, though. So he would, you know, and what, he had 600 acres. So even if he did a few years on one spot, on one plot, he could always flip it and go to another. With that much acreage, he didn't. I would imagine he wasn't going to plant or seed that whole thing in 1 year, or the first year. Because this was his first year, right? Actually working on his own property or his own farm.
That I'm not sure of. That I'm not sure of. I can't answer that for sure. That I don't know. I don't know if it was his first year, whether he'd been out there disking that property in years before, leveling it. I don't know.
Okay.
Is my picture froze on you guys, or is the camera still working? It's froze
It's
on
still
my
working
end.
good. It's still working good.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
it's still working.
Okay.
And somebody, King's Queen said maybe Dylan was killed for his knowledge. I don't know about that. I don't think so. Because I've heard
My
some crazy
personal
shit
opinion,
where they kidnapped him for weed, and this was like August or something. Somebody said that maybe he went to Mexico and the cartels got him and they're forcing him to grow weed in Mexico, and a whole bunch of weird shit back
fucking
in like
bunch of
August,
stupid
September.
fucking people. That's what that is, King. A bunch of stupid fucking people. It comes from Salty's camp.
Yeah, none of that made sense to me.
Some of the things that Salty has said, like, here's an example. Kurt says Dylan never did drugs, and I honestly believe Kurt when he says that. I don't think Dylan did drugs at all. Yet then Salty would point his finger and say, oh, you sold him fentanyl, killed him, and got rid of him. So which one is it, Salty? Everything he can do for content. That's what it is. And he doesn't care who it affects or how they feel about it. There were some things, you guys, that I didn't really disclose. I've had calls where a frustrated parent says, people like you need to be killed. I had a son that died from a methamphetamine overdose with fentanyl. And that's the kind of shit, Salty, that you spreading lies about leads to. Leads to the point now where I carry a gun with me because of the shit that he said. I never used to have to do that.
Yeah, because people, you never know. People on the internet get crazy.
That's it, brother.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's it. And as far as Salty's threats go, I take them seriously. He tried to run a lady over not 10 or 12 years ago after robbing her. I hope he don't show up at my house for his sake. I'm not worried about me. I am worried about what might happen to me if I do something to him. But
I think it's kind of odd that he would go out there with the Wadsworths and like film people's houses and stuff, man. He should, Kurt should know better than that. You know what I mean? Especially living in that area where, everybody I would imagine totes a pistol or a shotgun. I would imagine 99.9% of them do.
Yeah, I don't care if somebody films somebody's house, but you don't need to say who lives there.
Right. Well, I just think it's odd that they have to go to that point. You know what I mean?
Hi, Ty Corbin. How are you, Ty Corbin? This is fabulous. Hello, Mr. Ty Corbin. How are you? Ty Corbin, this is fabulous. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing good, fabulous, but you should be calling Huggy Bear.
No, Jim. I'm Jim's girl. I'm Jim Terry's girl. Would you have
I got a question for you guys? Does anybody know and has talked to Betty Hayward personally? Has anyone out there ever talked to her personally?
I have.
No, I haven't talked to anybody online.
Yeah.
Really.
We just talked about making my intros and stuff like that. That was it.
Okay. Enough said then. Not that it was anything bad or anything. I was just wondering if anybody had ever actually talked to her. That's all. Because when she's on Jim's channel.
Yeah, she's on channel.
Yeah, it's like she never gets to say anything. All she gets to do is just sit there and look at the camera.
Well, I did a show with her on Miss T's channel a couple weeks ago. Me and her sat up there together for like 8 hours straight talking.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
so that just spells what I was thinking then. I don't want to know what I was thinking. This is what I was thinking, and it's actually kind of funny.
Why'd you ask for? Somebody wants to know why'd you ask, Ty?
Because at one point in time, I thought that Betty Hayward might have been Jim just dressing up because the way her nose and eyes look and never saying anything. But it
what the hell? Now you ruined Betty Hayward for me. Good job. Now I can't think about it. It's looking hot anymore. Damn it. What the hell?
But I had a couple of people call me and say, do you think he just dressed up like that and runs about a 20-minute loop and just keeps looping it?
Oh, man. Killed me. He killed me. I'm the one of the ones that said, damn, she's smoking
Betty,
hot. Now every time
it's just a joke. Don't get mad.
In a wig. What the hell?
And Betty, I'm just joking, so don't get mad. I'm just having a little fun. With Jim, not you.
I still think she's hot. I ain't gonna lie.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a real treat. It's been a real treat for Mr. Ty Corbin for coming over here on my channel, and thank you, Ty Corbin, for coming over here. We're going to have to do this again whenever you're ready, whenever you fill up to it, and we really appreciate you being over here on the panel. You're more than welcome to come up on my panel anytime. I owe you big. I owe you huge. And
you don't owe me, Johnny. You don't owe me nothing. You just keep doing what you're doing, brother. You just stay solid. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep your show positive, like you want to do, and don't let assholes like me ruin it for you.
No, you're good, Ty Corbin. You're good, Ty Corbin. Everybody, thank you. Everybody. So, Ty Corbin, I'm gonna get you out of here. And good night. Is there anything else you want to say to the masses before we get you out of here?
I'd like to show people really quick what's going on in Salt Lake. God, you won't believe this. Look at this. Hopefully the light's on. Let me show you really quick.
All right.
Show us the snow.
Oh, cool.
Damn.
You see?
Damn.
A lot of snow.
That's what's going on here.
Holy
We got a bunch
smoke.
of it. It just finally stopped this hour. So,
Damn.
but anyway, Johnny, I'll let you go off. I had to drive all the way back from Wells in this last night. It took me about 6.5 hours to get from Wells to Salt Lake last night.
Yeah, I know you're tired too, brother. How's Phyllis doing?
She's doing really good. We had the appointment at the Huntsman yesterday about her lung, and they said it couldn't be better. And there's no trace of the cancer metastasizing or anything. So we go back with that one in another 6 months, and we do every 6 months for 2 years. And if she stays cancer-free on the lung, then that'll turn into once a year. So what it involves is they do an MRI or a CAT scan of the lung. I'm not sure which one. And they look at it, and then the doctor talks to us about it. And they said everything's good, so I couldn't be happier. You guys, we went home in a
the
good
best
mood.
medical people up in that area, like the University of Utah Medical Center. That whole area, man, they got some legit doctors, some of the best in the
You
world.
guys,
are up in that area.
the University of Utah and the Huntsman, the Children's Hospital, everything they have up there, those people are angels. In my mind, they have saved Phyllis at least 2 times that I know of, at least 2 times now. And they're angels on earth. That's what they are. And if I ever get rich, I'm giving them a shitload of money.
If you can do me one favor, King, Ty Corbin, do me one favor. Give Phyllis a hug from all of us from Johnny TV, and give all your family a big hug from all the way from Johnny TV shows and from King and everybody else in the chat room. We all love you, brother, and we'll talk to you soon, okay?
Thank you, Johnny.
Call me tonight. Call me tonight with it so you can get my hookup.
Okay, buddy.
All right, buddy. Good night.
You guys take care. King, you take care. Give me a call before you head this way, King, so you can stop in Wells or whatever, and I'd like to meet you when you come through this way.
Yeah, I'll get a hold of you as soon as I'm in your area in Wells.
I'll give Ty Corbin. I'll give King your phone number. Okay.
You got it, Johnny, and I'll give you yours. Okay. All right. Bye, bye, you guys.
Okay, no problem. Bye. Good night. Good night.
Good night.
That was Ty Corbin, ladies and gentlemen. He's out of here. And I just want to say thank you so much. Our chief is back. King Samoan Chief is back. And I'm proud that he's back. He's back until he gets ready to go on the road again, or for how long he's ever back for. But he's a good guy. King's a good guy. He's been gone for about 6 days and everything else. And everybody just remember, give King his cell number before. Gave King.
Okay. All right, I got that. I'll look and find it. I'll get it. As soon as I'm in his area, I'll go meet up with him. That's fine. I don't have a problem.
Oh, you already got his number then?
Yeah, she says that she sent it to me, so I'll look it up and find it.
Okay.
I can have it. I'll save it.
And everybody else, if you have not hit the like button, hit the like button on the way out. And also hit the subscribe button. It helps my channel out. Until next time, everybody, until next time, I love you. This is Johnny TV and King Samoan. Peace.
Peace.
Guys, be good. Thank you.